We got about. Yo, what up? What up? What up? What up? What up? What up?
What's up, everybody?
What it do, baby?
We're live?
Yeah, we're live. We're live. We're live.
What's the
What's
live
good?
look? What's
What's good, chat?
hide members? Hell yeah.
I got 20 mil though, but I'm greedy, so sorry.
What's up with what's up at the Italy race though this weekend?
Ooh, fuego,
Ooh.
dog. Who watched F1 this weekend?
Come on, you know it.
Dog.
Damn, dog. You know what? That's fucked up, Logan Jones. You said I bet Massa's late. I'm the most punctual fucking person in this fucking.
Man.
I mean, listen, there's like I could count in one hand how many times Massa's been late.
What about me?
No, all right. So here's the difference between you and Massa. When Massa's gonna be late, he lets us know like, "Yo, I'm out. I'm gonna be late." Right? You're the type is like it's like 8:25. And you're like, "Oh, I'm out today, boys." Oh fuck, and then scrabble.
We're talking about the Galaxy,
And then
is that what the players do?
sometimes. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And
Dog,
then
I'm a Galaxy player.
Angel's the one that's like it's 9:01 talking about, "Oh, I'm gonna be late." No, you're late. You're late already. Like, you're late already. I'm never late because I'm the one that actually, sets this up, so I have to be here.
Or you go to Raw.
Oh, I go. Listen, one time in our 4 years, one time, dog. Everybody who's here.
Hey, if you guys have fucked with us since that Raw episode, I love you guys. God.
Listen, we got a shit. I know Sunglass George ain't talking. I know Sunglass George ain't talking about me though.
Hey.
I know Sunglass George ain't talking about. Oh, let's go.
If you guys, no, this is my only drink that I've had. But if you guys have not had Terramana, the Rocks Tequila, 100% recommend this shit. Amazing. It's sold out everywhere though. I luckily found that shit at Bevmo. Really, really good.
No shit. I'm gonna order me some.
I kind of am growing muscles like him now too, so I gotta, fit the part.
Oh, that's right. There was the one time I wasn't there too when I was in Jersey. When I went in Jersey for work, you guys did that 3-man pod. That show was tight too.
They were on time.
Yep, George was producer as fuck. I seen it.
I
seen it, dog.
And that shit made my computer crash and burn.
That was before you build your PC though, dog.
Now come on. Now I could.
Now you're an expert, dog.
Easy, bro. But the problem is I have a daughter that sleeps in the room, so.
Wake her up. She could get the angel spot. You get the angel spot.
Well, back in the days, the boys used to be yelling. Remember?
Yeah, man. With Batman in the fucking background all the time.
Yeah,
I like it. Or when your fire alarm. Remember that one?
Or when someone shot up angel shit.
Yep. Live shots. I think we had live shots on the pod twice, right?
On a couple, yeah. There are guest appearances.
Yo, anyways, before
the race.
Yeah. This F1 race this weekend was dope.
Yeah, man. Man. I mean, from the jump, right? From the jump, after turn one, both McLarens were 1, 2, and 3.
Yep.
Not both us. Not fucking Verstappen. No, not even the fucking the pink arrows. Fucking McLaren was second and third. And in the post game interview, Sainz said if it wasn't for like the red flag, if it wasn't for everything that happened, he felt like he had the pace to be second. He felt like he had it after Hamilton, which I don't disagree. But man, what a fucking race! I mean, Hamilton with a 10-second stop and go penalty. Dog, like
10 seconds, bro. That's detrimental in F1.
That's like 18 seconds?
It was 28 seconds. 28 seconds because 18 seconds to get in and out of the pit. Right? And then the 10 seconds to stop. You said it, George, on Discord when we were chatting about it. Like, Hamilton robs us of this, right? Because Hamilton is so good. Like, we don't get this week in, week out. But without Hamilton, like,
hey,
that's what we see.
I hate to say it, though, but I don't wish, though, because Hamilton is legit.
Nah, chill. Watch your mouth.
I like him a lot, fool, but honestly, F1 would be so much better if he wasn't racing. Like, and that's sad to say, dog.
But a lot of people said that about Jordan when he was playing basketball. A lot of people said that. You get me? Like, so it's just and then when he's gone, we're gonna be like, damn, remember the greatness.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm not gonna complain.
It's because crazy though, right? Because he went last, dog. And
let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. Seven. Yeah. A spot behind fucking
30 seconds behind, bro. Like
no, not 30 seconds behind. 30 seconds from the pack, right? So he had to make up 30 seconds to get to the pack and then start fucking, overtaking.
Easily 15 seconds behind, you think? 45?
Yeah. Like in total, probably. Like, it was ridiculous. Like Hamilton, and listen, Bottas could never overtake. I don't think Bottas overtook more than 1 or 2 people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Fucking Hamilton came back and just Like, I mean, give him 10 more laps and he's podium. I think give him 10 more laps, he's podium.
Easy. But it's crazy though. The Mercedes team was like, he's gonna finish 6th. And he was close. Like when he started off at the back, they were like, he could still get points.
And you know what I fuck with? The way that he congratulated Gasly after, and then like his post, like, yo man, you a champion, a legend, and a professional. That's so sick.
Well, listen, if you guys saw the Netflix special, you guys seen the drama with fucking Gasly, right? Like he got dropped from Red Bull, right?
Yo,
he went to Toro
Lewis
Rosso.
Hamilton taking jabs at Red Bull since last week, bro.
Yeah.
What was it the beginning? Remember the first week where they went at it, and then they're like, "Oh, we deserve an apology."
Oh yeah. Oh man, it's just this week was really good for F1.
Yo,
I hope
Pierre Gasly, dog. I'm like he being first and never leading a race, dog. He raced the perfect race, and he did.
The restart did him good.
Lose podium, dog. That shit is tight.
Hey, so the restart wasn't because of the crash. It was because of Haas pulling off to the side, right?
Well, yeah.
But he was too close to pit lane. And...
Oh no. The restart was because of the crash. Because
so
they had to rebuild that wall.
Leclerc? Well, Haas I think he had engine failure or something.
So he pulled to the side, and that's what gave Hamilton the
penalty.
That's what it was, huh?
Yeah. Because he went to a pit where pits were closed. Hey, chat. If you guys, you guys hear us talk about F1 almost on a weekly basis. If you guys are interested in getting into racing, go to ESPN and check out this week's race, Italy's race. Probably the best race to watch if you're a first timer, because it's exciting from from start to end. Sometimes they get a little dull in the middle, but this race was good from start to end. So if you guys are interested,
brake failure, crashes, fucking pits, like wrong pit stops.
Oh yeah,
all kinds of shit, bro.
Hey, that crash was crazy. I'm glad he's cool.
Yeah. When in the broadcast, like they cut to him crashing, and I was just like, "Yo!" Like I had I saw his red Ferrari, and Vettel was already out. Right, so I was like, "Yo, Leclerc," and I'm glad he's doing fine, though. Because
bro, he walked out that motherfucker. He ran. He was like, "I'm out."
Nah, Chris, we're just chit chatting for another couple minutes before we start the show.
There's no way we could do an F1 podcast. We let other people, the professionals, talk about this.
Bro. Yeah,
we'll let the professionals handle that.
We beginners, dog.
This is tight, though. Yeah. Start off like that's what the Netflix documentary is really got me excited about F1, and then like watching it live is super dope. So yeah, definitely start off with that. But if you guys just want to see a race, this weekend's race was really fucking good. Ferrari messing up big time. Fuck yeah, Ferrari's just sad. I like fucking Leclerc a lot. I think he's a dope ass driver, but that car is.
I like F1, dog. F1's a real sport. I don't know, soccer or whatever, you know. I like.
You guys are late to this shit. If you guys really wanted to get into it, you guys would have seen when Lightning McQueen went at it with Francesco Bernoulli.
Here we go, dog. Here we go on a weekly basis. Hey, let me take a second.
It's because it's story, dog. There's nothing like that one. You know, it wasn't even the Piston Cup anymore. It's just the World Cup. So there you go.
Let me take a second to give a shout out to Nelson. You seen his shots from last night?
Sheesh.
You seen his shots from last night? I mean, those shots were fucking. We're on point, dog. And then even bigger shout out because I finally got my print, so I'm super happy. I'm about to put my shit up.
Man, fuck Nelson.
Have it set up. So big shout out to Nelson. Check him out, Nelson 121 on Twitter. Nelson. He has dope ass fucking shots. I'm sure most of you guys in here already fuck with him, but check out his shots. I know he has prints for sale now on the website.
He also has that shirt for sale. He also has that shirt
with 1-2 threads.
That's a question for Angel right there. What's your pick for overrated superhero, supervillain?
Easy, Superman.
Yep.
Easy, Superman.
What about villain?
Lex Luthor.
Oh, so you just hate the Superman saga? Yeah.
I mean,
the Joker all time though.
Overrated?
Greatest or overrated?
No. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yo.
Nope. The opposite of that.
You were about to get a fight. We were going to talk any galaxy.
Yeah.
We were
all just going to argue. I think the Joker's the ultimate villain. That's what
he's definitely the ultimate villain. Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. Sorry. It's like woo. Yo, chill. I want no smoke.
You know what? I used to think DC sucked, dog, and that shit is fake.
You're welcome.
DC animated is top notch.
You know what? No, now that I think about it, maybe Solomon Grundy. He's probably overrated as fuck.
All right, boys. Let's get into it. Let's get the show going.
Yo, what up? and welcome to another episode of Straight from the Stands, an unapologetic, unofficial LA Galaxy podcast, hosted by 4 Foul supporters who bring you their thoughts and views on everything related to LA Galaxy, straight from the stands. I am your co-host Smarts, alongside the always angry Angel, his counterpart level-headed George, and the man with the facts, Masa. This is Straight from the Stands.
Good evening.
What up?
What do, baby?
What's up?
What's going on, people? How are you guys? How you guys feeling today? Happy
forgot-
Labor Day. Happy Labor Day.
Yeah, dog, we're the greatest podcast. We're over here laboring on Labor Day for all of y'all because we love you guys. If that shit doesn't tell you,
Damn.
labors is fuck.
I'm over
How-
here really thinking about who's the most overrated super villain.
Can
You know what? I'm gonna say it's Thanos, dog, because Thanos without that Infinity Gauntlet, he ain't shit.
Nah,
And
he's still fucked up
this,
Hulk. What you
Nah,
mean?
this is facts. Darkseid beat his ass. So, there's that. In order for Thanos to beat Darkseid, he required the Infinity Gauntlet. Otherwise, Darkseid beat that ass like easy money. So there you go. That's your overrated.
All right,
There you
cool.
go.
Back to Galaxy. How you guys feeling
Yeah,
today?
for sure.
How you guys feeling today?
Amazing.
I feel amazing, bro.
I'm pouring up a little bit Terramana right now, as I was mentioning before the pod. Beautiful day. No sunglasses, Jorge. Just relax.
Just
Adult Jorge.
nightcap out here right now.
Yeah,
just chilling,
yeah.
big chilling.
The new- Yeah.
Man, I'm gonna get into last night's game. But before I do, is there any news rumors that we should cover before that? No?
Not that I'm aware of. I don't think so.
No.
Nothing.
I mean, I don't know if David Alaba lying now, but he saw Yoni
Yoni
Gonzalez
in
in
and
and out. So who knows?
I hope not, because if he's here, he's supposed to be quarantined. So I hope he ain't out there fucking up. Ain't trying to be like PSG with all their players.
Neymar? Everyone basically, yeah.
Yeah, fucking Mbappe got positive today or whatever. So I hope not. All right, let's get into it. Actually, you know what? No, let's get into it. I want
Whatever you want, really.
let's
You
get
let
into
me
it.
know.
Let's get into it. Let's start off with lineups for today or for yesterday. Bingham at goal. Most times today, unfortunately, but we'll get to that. Depew, Steris, center back. Insua, Fulcher, in the wideouts. Kitchen, Corona in the middle. With Araujo making the return to the right wing. Pavon on the left wing. Legit in the middle, and Lord Subek up top. No changes. With the exception of Araujo and Efra, not much rotation. Any surprises? Any thoughts of the lineup when we saw it?
My initial thought was, why is Rolf in there? But then I understood he's played these games before. He understands the height of them and everything. So I was like, oh, okay, I get it. A little bit of expertise in the back, which is cool.
I'm not even gonna lie. I was shocked.
Were you?
You're shocked he was there?
No, yeah, I was shocked he played. I'm honestly shocked that it was in the repeat lineup from the previous game against Portland. I mean, at least to me, that's I would have bet money on it. I probably would have dropped $100 on repeat lineup. Yeah, I was shocked. I was like, damn, okay.
But going into this game, we said that even Bingham, we change them after this game, and we'll get to that. But I think we keep them in just because they understand the game, which is kind of why
You said
I was
you
okay
change
with
him after this game?
No. Remember, we said going into the game that
Angel wasn't
this
on
was
the tug.
Oh,
Oh.
gotcha. Yeah.
Angel
gotcha.
so
was
we
on
said
the
that we were leaving him for LAFC, but after that we're changing him just
Okay.
because he knew the.
Oh,
So
yeah,
that's kind of what I went with Rolf.
Yeah, no, I heard it, and I agreed. I heard the podcast on the way back from Vegas. So I'm again, I was still shocked though because I thought GPS was going to go with Araujo after what we saw from Araujo playing that right back role. But I mean, it's not something that I was pissed about. I was just shocked. I wasn't mad about
You
it.
shouldn't be,
Yeah.
though. This is
Yeah.
exact formation we've used in the last year on the right side that worked against LAFC every fucking time.
Yeah, and I think that's
Both
why I
on
wasn't.
on
That's
the
why
right.
I wasn't shocked either. I assumed they were gonna want to be physical. So I think that made sense to me because we know Araujo's physical. We haven't really seen that much from Efra to say if he could be physical or not. But if you had Fulcher and Araujo in there, they were both gonna be banging bodies because that's just the play style. So I wasn't as shocked, but I wouldn't have been mad if it was Araujo and Efra instead of Araujo and Fulcher there. Regardless though, like I'll say it again. I was okay with this lineup just because they have been performing with this lineup. So I didn't see no harm here. But the game kicks off. and I think me and Angel are gonna have a little argument here because this first half, I think so like, listen, to be fair, I think LAFC were the better side in the first half.
Yeah.
But
See,
what
but
makes it
that's fine.
hold on,
The
hold on, hold on.
statement's fine.
Yeah, live and get it. Listen, I'm not gonna
Okay,
steal your thunder.
good.
I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna let you do it.
All right. All right.
So again, I
You know what?
think
Name
I
pops,
think
you know, but-
for me it looks a little lopsided when you look at it from the stats point of view, just because the referee, the linesman in the Galaxy in the first half played it well. Like he didn't call any offsides. He let him roll out just in case it was a goal. They could go back and check the offside, right? But I think
As they should.
I think a lot of those chances were offside. But
5. If I recall correctly, it was 5. Just want
Yeah.
to throw it out there. 5.
yeah, I mean, and again, we have some footage here we'll play right now. But a lot. Other than that, like I think the biggest chances they had were chances they were conceding in an offside position. But with that being said, I think the Galaxy were second to a lot of these balls. These balls in the midfield that were open. Whereas we saw in the other games they were first and they were banging to get the balls first. Maybe half a step behind LAFC in the starting minutes. Listen again, right? A lot of the shots, in my opinion, are offside. Therefore, for me, like it's a little skewed because of that. Angel, I briefly mentioned that on the chat, and we were gonna start arguing there, and I say, hey, let's see for here. Give me your thoughts on
It's not an argument. It's more I saw the game differently than you.
Okay.
Because look, absolutely those 4 or 5 chances that were clearly offside obviously amplify what that first half was, right? Because we're all
Mhm.
hyped and the moment and the way that everything's happening until we don't see the offside call, we don't know,
Mhm.
right? And it's MLS refs,
Mhm.
right? Anything can happen. So absolutely, I understand why we'd be oh fuck during those 4 or 5 offsides. But even then, apart from that, at no point did I see a glimpse of hope, except for the one where Zubac flew it over, where I can say like, all right, hell yeah, we're gonna be in this fucking game, like we're gonna fight. First half alone, right?
Yeah.
I was, to me, I was crossing fingers. If I had nails, I'd be biting them. It was, we just need to get to the half. We need to get to the half.
Mhm.
We need to get to the
Yep.
half because this was bad to me. It was terrible. And for you to say it wasn't as lopsided as it was,
Yep.
I don't agree with you, and I think from the general consensus, which is crazy because for the most part I'm usually on the out with general consensus. I feel that the majority of people feel the same way,
I
at least
agree.
from what I've seen. That LAFC were honest, yeah, sure. Granted, kudos to our back line for playing that line and playing it well. That kept those guys offside, right?
Yeah.
Because if it's not for our backline, and it's one thing that we're not gonna talk about much because we were under pressure a lot. Although only you think 7 were on target. Listen, I'm stats alone, right? Goal attempts 14, shots on goal 7, and that first. I don't think that counts offsides.
No, it does because
Offsides
they weren't
count.
called. They weren't called offside, so it was continuation
Yeah,
of
they were
plays.
Okay, fine. But even then, subtract that. Subtract the 4 or 5 from that. That's still a high number for a first half, Rudy.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
that's
no,
intense. And
100%.
possession was close to 70% LAFC. And again, at no point did I feel like 20 minutes into the first 30 minutes. Once it was like 40, like, okay, close it out, just hold, don't concede, get to the half because we're not looking good. If there's another 10, 15 minutes, we're for sure gonna get scored on. That's how I felt.
Oh,
And I don't know. Yeah, go ahead.
No, so I think I agree with a lot of what you're saying, right? Again, I think I started by saying LAFC were the better team in the first half, but to me, it didn't seem that lopsided, right? Given that I'm not considering a lot of those chances were offside because we saw the replay. I'm with you on the feeling of like, oh shit, as it's happening, and then you see the replay and you see offside, so it wouldn't count anyways, or at least you hope you wouldn't count it. Like that to me makes it feel a little better. And the one thing I do disagree with you is like I didn't feel like we're necessarily on the ropes or like oh shit, these guys are gonna score on us, right? Because I think the at least from the way I saw it, the chances they have, the ones that were legitimate, other than a big save from the double save from David Bigham, like I didn't think they were all that
Bro, Rossi had a sitter inside the 18 that he just missed it to the bottom right. Like he just missed it, and that's just one off the top of my head that I can think of. Should have been in the back of the net. Like
Yeah.
there's any other game that's in the back of the fucking net. Like easy a sitter. I mean, he had nobody on him, no pressure. He just completely missed it. Missed it.
That was Brian Fernandez, right? He missed it with his left.
I don't know. I think
Yeah,
it was Rossi. 'Cause
yeah.
I know Rossi
Again,
for sure had a miss too, though. So that's another one. Fine. If you have Fernandez and then Rossi, that's just two different players right there
Rodriguez.
specifically that have missed goals.
any of them put Bingham on the real pressure, other than the double save. 'Cause I think the double save was
Because they weren't
big on there.
savable. Because they weren't savable. If those goals would have been in, there's nothing
But they're
that
not.
Bingham could have done for that.
But
Okay. All right. I guess
in the-
we're
The
gonna
shot,
we're
the
gonna
shot
do
listen,
Brian Rodriguez,
and
the shot Brian Rodriguez had on the right was a Bingham save as well. There was another one. Bingham had a couple saves in this game where I think on an ordinary day for LAFC those go in, and I think we see the game differently because they could have easily been up 2-0 at the half without the offside calls.
and
And
that's
then we're talking a different story, and then we're
Yeah.
saying they dominated the first half because. I mean, just by looking at everything, I have stats as well in front of me, and passing wise, they almost tripled the passes that we've had.
Oh shit! I didn't even know
Possession-wise,
that. You're right.
yeah. I mean,
Holy shit.
Listen,
that's a tell. Yeah,
I'm not arguing none of that. I'm not
Mhm.
arguing. Again, I agree that LAFC was a better team. Well, I guess my point of view was I never felt like. Well, it almost felt like it wasn't LAFC's night. I guess that's the way I took it, right? Like it felt like because with LAFC against especially the games that they've dominated for us against us, and they put us on our ass. Things just go for them. Like things just seem to work out for them, right? And it seemed like it wasn't one of those nights because even
That's
the ones.
false, though. Against
How is
LAFC,
that?
that's false because there's been even example the 6-2 game. We were winning 1-0, tie 1-1. Then we go up 2-1, then 2-2. So if you're saying that, that's kind of false. And think of the other games, with the exception of maybe the
but I'm
first
saying
game.
again, I'm not again. What I'm saying is like when LAFC, or at least in my opinion, right? And again, we could disagree. That's 100% fine. My opinion is that when LAFC, when shit falls for LAFC, even that 6-2 game, shit just fell for LAFC because it could have been a different story, right? We could have won that game. We could have tied that game. It could have been a different story, but shit just didn't fall for us, and it fell for LAFC. I didn't feel that this game. That was my point. And again, right, like, my biggest thing too, though, like I watched it in TDUN. And sheesh, yeah, that one. Sheesh, the jaw drop they do on LAFC is just. I really wanted to watch it on mute though because it was so annoying. But let's get.
I'm very curious if the Unimas and the TUDN commentary is different. Or maybe I was just too focused on the game and not necessarily the commentary. That I didn't really catch. I mean, obviously some of it was there, but it wasn't like other times where it's like straight up slurping and grabbing the balls at the same time.
You know what? The only reason that I know about it, I'm kind of like you, Andrew. I tune it on and I watch the game, but Stacy's next to me and all I can hear is "suck their fucking dick already." If you guys, I was like, "Oh shit!" Then I hear it and I'd be like,
you know what? And maybe that's what it is because
okay.
at that point I'm just zoned out and just focused on the game. I'm not even paying attention to the commentary. So maybe that's probably a me thing.
Perhaps.
Plus, I also had it on my phone, and then I was doing 3 different things just for the game alone. So, yeah, maybe.
So let's get to the games again. We took it. Our perspective of the game was a little different on how dominant LAFC was versus us. But let's start out with this play right here. The one time the defense does get done by, and they get through a play. Bing comes out big, and I just kind of played the replay right now. Bing comes out big on one, like shorting out like the box, getting down, making the block, and then the second block because he gives a bad rebound. Again, that rebound I'm not going to complain about because it's a bang play. He made the block, and then to have the awareness to kind of look where the rebound went and stretch out for that save. That was big, and I think even in the other plays prior to this one, the one that was offside, and he comes out and kind of. Dives to the bottom and stops the run. I think it might have been Rossi that was on, or one of the other strikers that might have been on. Like I saw it, and I was like, those are good blocks. Those are just good blocks. And as much shit I gave him at the tailgate because I ripped on him on the tailgate, I gotta acknowledge that
That's
these
funny.
two.
I heard that. I was laughing.
Yeah, I mean it's true though. Like again, like the tailgate episode sounded like a Bingham roast episode, but
it sounded like exactly.
But it was deserved. I mean. I don't think anybody's gonna argue with me that it was deserved. Like he had been bad, but this game right here, to almost Angel's point, like I think he kept us in the game, right? Because at least these two that I saw, big saves
in the first half, absolutely. And there was one I know that got passed back by him, but that was nothing he could have done about it. And I think it must have been this play that our defenders got to it. I think it looked like it was going in. Our defenders got to it or some shit like that.
Yeah, like again, it was big ups on Bingham. Like again, we give him a lot of shit, but I think this game he stepped up, especially in the first half where he had work to do.
Yes and no, because there were some plays that were still kind of obvious to me where it's like, yo, my man, you have to be doing these things. Like there was 2 plays that I think it was right after this one where it was a 1-on-1 and he tried to go forward and he like completely he changed his mind and he stepped back. And if it wasn't for I think it was Diego Rossi that had the ball on his right foot, you're 90% of the time that ball is going in. You gave him that whole angle. And then the Brian Rodriguez shot to the first pole. The only reason that shot was there is because he stepped away from his pole and he had to make a save, or else that's straight to his body. So, although giving him the credit, 100%, he kept us in that game that first half. But there was plays that the team could have easily capitalized, and I think we would have been kind of focusing on that a lot more too.
Easy, and I think it's 2 separate things, right? It's 2 separate things from him being a factor and us keeping that 0-0 at the half, and him being a good keeper. I still hold that he's not a good keeper. He had a
night.
a surprisingly game for him.
He had a half because he wasn't testing the second half.
But you know
So
what? I do have one thing to talk about the second half. We'll talk about the second half. Listen, and again, I think LAFC was dominant like first 30 minutes, and after this play right here, where Pavon goes out to Felcher puts in a fucking beauty of a cross to Subek, and Subek has no idea how to finish that. I think the game, and again, listen, we're talking about 31st minute, so 31 minutes of LAFC pretty much, they control the tempo, right? And in my notes, I say that a lot. Like, they took the ball away from the Galaxy, they controlled the tempo, and we couldn't really find the rhythm. I mean, even Pavon looked a little like, there's a couple times where the ball, like he couldn't drag the ball. Like, we talked about his touch on the tailgate. How his touch was ridiculously dope, and he got the run based on that touch. His touch wasn't there in the first half. Like, I've seen 3 or 4 times where like the ball just stayed behind him, or it was too close to him. Like he couldn't get it out of his feet enough.
But to his credit, though, he still managed to get a yellow from Blessing, so that's a good thing. I was honestly and I know we'll get to that second half and the red card, but I'm in my mind, I'm like, fuck, just feed Pavon. It doesn't matter if he's having sluggish or not. Just keep giving it to him.
Yeah.
Keep giving it to him because one of those Blessing's gonna have a fuck up, and there goes his double yellow.
Yeah,
and
no, I agree. When I seen him get the yellow card, that was my thought exactly. I was like, I hope this will keep pushing him because he goes into a sloppy tackle. That's the red card. Surprisingly, it wasn't him that got the red card. It was somebody else, and we'll go into it in just a little bit. But yeah, the first half finishes 0-0. And I mean, I guess Angel, George, Massa, how do you guys feel about that? Like,
Sigh of relief.
Yeah.
Going into the half, you sigh of relief and you say, thank God. I think Angel mentioned that you thank God you get out of the half with nothing on the board. Because, like I said, if they score 1, I think we're talking a different story here.
It could have been. It could have been, right? Yeah. Angel, you have anything to add to that? Massa?
To me, listen, we got to the half, and to follow up on George, I thought that was a win already. The moment that we got into that half, immediately my attitude changed here in the house. I'm like, all right, we're winning this game type of thing. I didn't know if it was going to be 1-0 or 2-1, or it doesn't matter. At that point, we're going to win because there is no way the Galaxy is going to play worse than what they just did. Right? There's no possible way. I'm sure GBS has seen it. Listen, I think in the broadcast, actually, but I think they had mentioned that GBS was already looking to his bench. I think like around the 35th minute, was considering making a change, right? So I personally don't want to make a change that quick, which is why I was hoping, fuck it, just get into the half, because obviously GBS sees something, right? I don't know what it is at the time. Obviously, I'm not GBS, but he obviously sees something. He's getting a reaction out of what's happening on the field. So in my mind, we get to the half, 0-0, that's already a win. And at that point, my confidence just skyrocketed because there is no way we're coming back into the second half playing the same fucking way that we just did. And even if it's the same personnel or not, although I had my thoughts that maybe we should make some personnel changes, he obviously didn't do that. But whatever he said whatever tactically he did inside inside at halftime in the locker rooms, it's obvious, it's apparent that it changed. But again, we got to the half 0-0. I already felt like we were going to win because that was it to me. There's no way we're going to play this same shitty soccer in that second half.
Massa, thoughts on the first half and coming into half 0-0?
I was a little concerned because they were coming down the middle and it was kind of easy, but at the same time relieved because the backline was moving in unison and there was a lot of offside calls. So at halftime, I'm like, all right. I mean, we're absorbing pressure. We're gonna get them on the counter like we always do. It's just But once we got to halftime 0-0, even though I would have liked Zubak to put that away, I was like, fuck. All
Yeah.
right, we could have gone one up. And I think we had another chance too. A couple crosses in the box that they were cleared out by the defenders. So
Yeah.
I felt like it could have gone either way. First half, even though we were outshot and outpossessed. But I mean, I've always said possession is irrelevant to me.
You know,
Um,
whip up.
but halftime, I'm like, all right, we'll see what happens. It's a rivalry game. We'll see what
Anything can
happens.
happen.
Yeah,
Yep.
and you know what? Massa reminded me of those. Like, yeah, there was twice where we got inside the box, hit end line, and looked for the pass back. And unfortunately, I think Subak got beat to the ball at one of them, and then he made the wrong run in the second one. But that also reminds me that horrible back pass Rolf had,
Rolf did.
right? And I want to talk
Yeah.
about this just because he has he has a lot to play with in the second half. But that first half, he had a horrible back pass that gets intercepted, and if it wasn't for the hustle of Joe
He's
Corona.
Benny.
Oh, Joe Benny, yeah.
Yeah, if it wasn't for the hustle Joe Corona, that's a goal, right? But he hustled back and he got the last ditch effort to slide in and clear it out. So I did have that in my notes and I wanted to bring that up just because Rolf plays an important part in the second half. But going into the half, I'm big down on Rolf, right? Because we had seen Julian and Efra have a good game plan down that wing, and then Rolf does that. I'm a little, I was down on him at that point. But we go into the second half. And
Well,
second
can I
half,
say something about that though?
Yes.
I don't, and I think we just amplify Rolf because he's.
yes,
I think we have Araujo right ready to go, but to be fair, apart from that mistake, him and the rest of the back line, like Masa alluded to a few minutes ago, they were playing in unison. There's a reason why we got them on 4 or 5 offsides. So to me, it's really more. And I listen, that back pass, absolutely. There's
Yeah.
always 100%. There's no defending that whatsoever. But I'd argue that even more so, there were. I'd say maybe our midfield was getting overrun. So I'd say they probably had a worse performance in that first half than Rolf did and the back line as a whole. Obviously, Rolf's thing is going to get amplified because it was bad.
Well,
bad,
not
right?
not only was it bad, but he's under a microscope, right? Like we've been
Exactly.
big upping the midfield because the midfield's been playing really good like the past 3 games, right? Rolf, in our opinion, got dropped for Julian
Araujo,
last
yeah.
game, right? So like all that like he's in the microscope, and he does that again just because we're looking at him not to fuck up. And he fucks up, is pretty easy to pick on that, right?
And plus to add to that, you're under a microscope. Obviously, it feels like your starting position's up in the air because we're
Right.
having another midfield coming in. We forget that Yoni's going to be coming in. He's going to take Araujo's spot, and Araujo had a good showing with Efra as a right back. So you have to think about it as a player too. You as yourself need to amplify those passes and make sure that those passes aren't happening because you're under a microscope and your starting position's on the spot.
Yeah, and those are unforced errors, right? Like if it's a bad
Sure,
tackle or something like
crazy,
that, but it's an
bro.
unforced error. Like he just doesn't put the pace on it or the weight on the pass to get it to backline. Just kind of want to bring that up before we move into the second half.
I was so pissed, dog, when that shit happened, bro. Because how many times have I been like, "Oh, Roll Felcher is decent." Like,
Yeah.
I'm not on the Roll Felcher outboat, And motherfuckers always talking shit, and this motherfucker does that shit. I'm like, damn, they about to fuck us, dog. I'm gonna hear this shit on Monday, bro. I already knew. Like, I
Hey,
already
but you know
knew.
what? No, fuck that. No one can say shit to you because the same way that people defended David Bingham for the longest for close shits that never really happened, you get a pass, dog. Fuck that. You get a pass. Fuck
You
that.
don't get a pass from me. Fuck, Rolf.
No. Angel give it a pass, so you're good. All right, the second half starts, and it doesn't take long for Pavon to do his thing. As I'm showing on screen, Bradley Wright Phillips had one in the first half where he tried to. I think he was offside anyways, but he tried to chip Bingham. It hit as a post. Pavon has one shot at this. I mean, first of all, I don't know what the fuck their keeper was doing, and Lowe's for that, right? Because they benched the other.
It's irrelevant, dog.
But man, that deft touch from Pavon, dog, that's just so nice.
You know what's crazy to me though? It looked fine. Yes, great, Pavon. But no one's giving Insua the praise for giving
pass?
him
Oh,
that pass,
Ooh.
that over the top pass, perfectly weighted into space. Pavon,
It looked like a chip.
Yeah,
It was.
and it.
Yeah.
I mean, was it really?
Did you
Looked more like
see?
a single type of pass, but
No, so and I let you get to it, Angel. Like I noticed that because of the way he kind of stops his foot. right? Like he
Maybe,
hits it and he
maybe,
kind of pulls it
yeah,
back, so he doesn't
maybe.
give the power to it. And I thought it was really impressive. But go ahead.
But even then, from the angle where he put in that ball right into that space, listen, absolutely, Pavon, yes, great. And to me, talking about Pavon over and over, if you guys don't get it by now, he's worth $300 million. He's worth $700 million. I don't give a fuck. But what Insua did there, to me, man, that's the reason we got this dude. Like, he understands what we're supposed. Like, his soccer IQ is there. And I remember people were giving him so much shit the first few games he had, and people were like, "No, hey, Insu out, Insu out." Yo, he hasn't really had a full run of games where he hasn't had interruptions and has gotten to the flow of things, or really been with the team that long. Look at the fucking dimes he's giving in fucking Pavon here. Just to Pavon, just come here and chip it just like that. Like, to me.
Amazing.
To me, that's bigger, and maybe it's that love for the left backs and the right backs, right? But we're left wing backs and right wing backs, right? But that's, to me, that's the goal.
Amazing.
Obviously, Pavon has to do his thing, absolutely, and I get that. At the end of the day, that is the goal. But I'm sure you guys get what I'm trying to say here. Without Insua's amazing touch right there, and just his vision and soccer IQ from that position, dog, that's why we got this guy.
Yo, the
That's
fact
why
that
we got him.
the fact that we're on the Insua topic, the chemistry on and off the field, I love that motherfucker. The fact that he's bringing everyone, like every time we see a video of him, they're all fucking around, they're all having
Yeah.
fun. Like, that's the type of shit that we need.
Yeah, no,
I fucking love it.
I mean, what else can you say, right? The pass and the finish were world class, and it's 5 minutes into the second half, right? Again, the announcers were backhand complimenting us, talking about, like, LAFC's dominance and maybe not deserving the LA Galaxy to go and whatnot. Fuck off.
See, but that was Bush though, because again, we didn't even talk about the start of the second half. From the start of the second half, that was you can tell that the energy from the team was different. I don't know, and I know this is an ongoing joke here about the sun or whatever, but it got significantly cooler, by the second half. So I don't know if that has to do.
Fuck that, it was hot. It was hot. It's hot.
Listen, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just saying I don't know if that had to do with it, but definitely you can see it from the moment the second half started. Gasly's intensity had kicked it up a notch. They were like 2 4 cylinders, and now they were going like 8 12. They looked like they were ready for this fucking game. Finally, right? And obviously, what happens a few minutes later? Here we go.
Yeah. And you know what? So here's the thing. Pavon scores this goal. It's 5 minutes in. It changes the whole dynamic of the game because now Ellipses come from behind, and I think fucking the pressure got to LAFC, and especially
Mark Anthony K.
You remember
Anthony K, 'cause he comes
when you
in-
guys cut me off and I was like, "Fuck that pussy, he's a pussy." And you're like, "All right, yeah, fuck you, pussy, fuck that pussy."
Listen, dirty tackle.
Piece of shit.
That's just a dirty tackle. That I mean, deserving
for
a
sure.
record. Deserving a record for sure.
Deserving of a
and
fucking suspension. MLS doesn't
okay.
look at that shit. Fucking
Listen,
turn the blind eye on this. people.
it's a straight red card, right? So I think they could still they could give him
not
more
going
games
to.
than one. We'll see. Either way though, like that, like, Masa, what you just say before I really interrupted you again?
I forgot what I was saying. I don't know.
You said you said it was frustration. You
Yeah,
said
it was for sure.
yeah.
Because he gave away the pass, right? There was a bad pass from him.
Because I think what happened at that point in time is, we score the goal and they're starting to realize that we're closing down the middle a little bit better than we did in the
Mhm.
first half. And they're like, "Fuck, bro! Like, back to the same old shit from last game. Like, we have chances. We had chances we couldn't score. These motherfuckers just scored on us on a fucking counter. Back to the same old shit. We're about to take a fucking L, and we're trying everything. We're throwing everything, and we haven't scored yet."
Yeah.
And I mean, that's the way I see it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
no,
And
it's
Detroit not taking people out like that. I mean,
and it's crazy because George is right. I give him more credit than George does, right? At least last year, I thought he was one of their centerpieces in the midfield, and for him to go out, and he was wearing the captain band. Am I
Yeah,
correct
he
with that?
was. He was
Correct.
the captain. Yeah.
He's wearing the captain band in that, and that's nuts, right? Like your captain loses his head and gets a straight red. And it gives Galaxy the advantage of a man up with a goal lead. here's my take, and give me
Take on what
opinions.
exactly? On the red card?
No, on what happens next. On what
Okay,
happens
well,
next in the
really
game.
quick though, I do want to say what Ramos said here in the chat. Shout out to Corona for standing up for Araujo. That's big to me. Again, I know I think it was Masa before has mentioned how some players don't stand up for other players, or how the game against LAFC the first time Araujo gets choked and no one's really there, everyone's like kind of calming it down or whatever. But you see fucking Corona just get up and fucking case face. I know he gets pushed back or whatever, but he
Still
went.
there.
Yeah, he was there for his teammate. And that's dope. Again, I know George. I think you talked about Insua and in the locker room and how that looks up. That's the type of shit the Galaxy need to be into, backing each other up. Being in good moods together, like the whole nine. That's the fuck I'm talking about.
To be fair, like by the end of the game, I don't want to skip ahead. I'm not gonna spoil anything of our conversation, but I was low key kind of upset that no one cracked a LAFC player for that. There was no retaliation for that. You can
Man,
stand up for but I'm taking someone out. If you go in on one of my boys like that, bro, studs up. I'm
GG's.
taking someone out. Yeah, I'm
Like,
taking someone out.
So
Fuck
let's have this conversation, right? Because last time we had a conversation like this, you guys told me it wasn't necessary because we have to 1-0 lead. Like, well, how so? We have
But
to
look,
1-0 lead.
Rudy,
This-
bro,
this-
but this is
Hold on,
different.
hold
Look
on.
at
I'm asking.
his foot,
We're
bro.
asking that.
This right here,
He was getting choked.
this right here is
Well, not
a
choked. I'm not gonna say that.
bad intention and possible injury. You're talking about this foot could have gone out for 3 months. With the
Hold
pro-
up, if he would have broken his ankle, that's way more than 3 months. Way
Yeah.
more than 3 months. We're talking about at least 6, 7, 8.
About a hand to your throat. All right, fool, you can stand up for yourself. This right here, you looking to take out a young ass fool, possibly like a career changing injury, bro. Like, yeah, bro, I'm fucking taking someone out, like for sure. Next play.
I'm not.
This is a lot different, bro.
I'm not arguing. I'm not arguing they should have. They should have cracked somebody. I'm not asking. There should have been retaliation. I'm not arguing that because I'm for that. I'm for that. I just.
I don't know. Are you? Every time we play together, you're always a peacemaker.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, because I'm not a pro and I got to work tomorrow. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna try to fight all the time. Come on, I'm not doing that. You best believe that shit. I'm a grown ass man, though. But moving on. Here's my take on what happens next, right? And let's get this conversation going. To me, I think the Galaxy play really, really smart because they settle in and they let the game develop, right? Like what we've seen a lot of times when the opposition gets a red card, the team kind of goes all out attack and a lot of times gets exposed because of that, right? I think the G's, and again, I don't know if it's, to me, I thought it was intentional. We could talk about that, but I think they settle into this game and kind of just slow it down a little bit and start playing, having possession and having LFC chase them instead of them like trying to play fast and create something and kind of exhausting yourself by making all these runs. To me, I thought that was really key on how this game just developed. Thoughts? You guys agree with that? Disagree with that? Think it was just more of the temperature of the game?
I think that I think once that red card happens, LAFC kind of puts their head down and said, this is not our night, and the Galaxy capitalized it. They kept their game, their head in the game. They kept the eyes on the prize, and they kept it pushing. I don't necessarily think that we had to step it up or do anything, because at some point it did feel like we could have done more. We kept our composure, but I think, and it's evident because the subs that happen after that, they take out their center forward and they bring out somebody, and then they take out another one of their star players. I think they kind of just started waving the white flag after that red card.
Yeah, that was really interesting, right? Because right after the red card, GBS makes a move with bringing out Subak, putting in Jonah, and that causes a shift up top where Pavon goes central, Leje goes out wide, and Julian States on the right. So it kind of shifts.
I want to rewind real quick, and I want to give a big shout out to Nick DePew. I think before we score, Pavon scores. There's a play where Bradley Wright Phillips turns DePew like with a one touch inside the box, and this motherfucker's about to take a shot, and then DePew recovers so quick, bro, and closes that foot down. Like he turns him on a back heel turn.
Yep,
and that was
inside the box, correct?
Inside the box in the second half, and I was
yeah,
like, this motherfucker's about to score. And the way he recovered and closed that down. I think he's been doing that shit all game, or ever since he got the starting role. So I just want to shout out Nick DePew.
That's the one that Bingham half comes out and almost it feels like he's in no man's land, right?
Yeah.
That one's scary because I mean, yeah, again, well, Mazza said, shout out to Depew because if he doesn't close him down like that, Bingham's in no man's land.
Yep.
Bingham's in no man's land, and it could have finished with a goal for LFC. Instead, it gets turned around. It gets turned around by us. But yeah, back to what we're talking about. Jonah comes in, and then shortly after that, you see like the wholesale changes for LFC. They actually took their whole. They used their five subs.
They didn't do it right away. They did it in a span of like 15 minutes. They did one and then one, and then like the last 3 were together, something like that. But it was like a span of 15 minutes.
So at the 58th minute, and then at 64th minute, and the 70th, 71th. But 64th minute, they did bring out 2 and 1 and 1. But they made moves. What was interesting is what George said. One of their first moves is to take out BWP and put in a defensive player. Allow what George said, waving the white flag. I think that they give up.
I don't think so.
You don't think so? What you think?
I thought they what's his name, Blackman, was playing CB. So you take out your striker, you put Rossi up top, and then you let Blackman play a right wing back. So they were trying to push more through the backs, which they weren't successful because of the way we, figured out how to play against them. But I think that was a move. I don't think they waved the white flag like you guys said.
Yeah, because they pushed up Blessing further up because he was playing right wing back when he's usually playing in the mid. But exactly. So his idea was to stop Pavon, although that didn't work.
And then how after did they make the third change?
Again, it was about 6 minutes apart for almost every single change.
Yeah,
I just don't think it was a white flag.
I think either way, their moves kind of didn't turn out to be anything, right?
Well, their moves are questionable because there was a lot of defenders that came in. That's for sure.
Yeah,
But fuck LAFC, I'm not concerned about their moves.
Exactly.
we got our own problems.
It kind of just worked out for the G's. And then we start seeing Rolf kind of really let go and push up that wing. Successfully. Like
not just that though. And before we get into his, offensive stuff, defensively, he was balling too. I know he had like 2-3 good slides in there. I thought he was
fine.
Listen, what Massa said, everything that he thinks of the Rolf could be, he definitely was that in the second half.
Listen, I didn't. In my opinion, I didn't see anything special. He did his job defensively.
But the thing is, with defenders, I think that's all we need for them to do their job. Is when you fuck up, and sadly we've seen a lot of Rolf fucking up. That's how he's under a microscope. But that's why we always listen. I'd rather come onto this pod and not have to mention that man's name because that means he had a good game and he did his job. But the fact that we have to come on here and keep mentioning it, that's an issue.
But to be honest though, like I'd rather have 4 debuts where I'm gonna mention them every single game because they're fucking stellar, right? Because this game debut, like man, like that guy slides with so much intention and so much confidence that he's gonna get the ball. It looks effortlessly, dog. Like he had like 3-4 slides. Yeah, he is. Yes, he is, man. Do you guys recall? I said I wanted to see him like 4 games in a row. See if he's real. No, that guy.
You guys recall that I've been telling you guys for a minute that's our guy, and no one believed me. But here
Bullshit.
we are. Want to bet?
You're over there drinking coffee and being nice with the enemy. Shut up.
Again, listen. I held my nod to the Pew because I wanted to see him consistently do it, and he's done it.
He's
4 games in a row.
He's
4 really important games for us in a row. He's done it. So man,
at this point, it's sell Steris, get rid of people, and bring a fucking another center back to back up the Pew, dog.
Listen,
I'm okay with Steris right now, though.
I'm not.
You really?
Why?
Remember Brian Rodriguez walked through 4 motherfuckers and then he megged Steris without even trying in the first half, and he got a weak ass shot off. Luckily, he can't shoot for shit.
So that's on Steris?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. I think that's Brian Fernandez. I think that's Brian Fernandez just skilling.
So that's on Steris?
Steris was supposed to close him down, and he let him walk through.
I think he got beat. He didn't let him. He got beat.
I mean, to be fair, you don't think that one player is gonna get through 3 of your players?
That was too easy, bro.
I think it's too easy too. But everyone knows. Like for one, right now I'm still on the Steris out thing because he's proved it. Listen, the Pew is the one making him better. It's not Steris making the Pew better.
Or people made him worse.
No, fuck that. No, fuck that. Because
No.
Depew and people were good together the first couple games when they played together. Okay, so this is why I'm saying that it's irrelevant right now. Who plays Depew? It's Depew +1. That's what
No,
it is. That's what it is.
I disagree with that, right? Because
Okay, well, that's fine. That's you, right? And I'm gonna stick to what I've been saying.
I'm not.
Steris right now is a perfect time to sell him.
Listen,
It's
Perfect time to sell him right now.
Listen, sadly, it's not going to happen. The fact that man has the captain armband, GBS, something that we probably have to.
Okay, right. That's fine. But I'm not mad about it. Just we
again,
need to. It's Depew plus anyone else because Depew is the man back there. He's the one that's running the show. It's his back.
But listen, I think the partnership with Steris is key, right? Because I think they understand each other better than people and well, you know what? No, it's not even that. I think people's a worse defender than Steris, in my opinion. And I like the partnership between Steris and DP, in my opinion. Like I like them and I'm okay with this. I'm gonna roll out. Listen, I remember having this conversation, or was it 2 years ago? Or 2 years ago when Steris had a decent season. We're like, okay, like listen, just partner him right with the right person, and he can do it. I think Depew is that guy right now. So we're there. Let's go into the set piece goal because that was the next goal that happened. Listen, we a set piece goal. Was it against LAFC? The header?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
That was against LAFC, right? And I'll talk about that one, and I think it was a good play. But it's a cross, right? It's a cross. You probably had planned runs, and you connected. This play though, this play is something else because if you see where Lejet starts off the run from, and then he already he knows where he's going. They know where you put in the pass, and then he finishes correctly. I mean, first time bottom right.
Can you rewind it a little bit? Like when Lejet's about to take off, right there.
I can't stop it. It just plays through.
Look at the defender at the second post. I can't tell who it is. I think it's the pure whatever. But the way he spreads his body out, he opens his legs.
Yep.
It's a screen, dog.
To stop the fucking other.
It's a set play. They practice this shit.
Yeah, it's definitely practice. Everyone sold their part 100% on point.
And I love that. I really, really love that because that means that means that they could practice something and then put it into production, right? Something that we question a lot, and we've seen them.
We even question they're practicing.
Shout out to Lejet, dog.
Yeah, big shout out to Lejet, man. I had something set up, but unfortunately, it's acting weird, so I can't play it.
Oh hell,
you know what? Just really quick to address the YouTube chat. Astro01 or LAFC got caught ball watching. I don't think they got caught.
No, they all followed the player.
Yeah, that just was a really, really, really good put together set piece because look at them. They're all trying to move. They just don't know where the ball's going. That's I'm telling you, everyone played their part right. Like everyone faked everyone. That's why Lejet's there just wide open just to put that ball in the net.
Yeah. Again, everything about this I love. Everything about this I love. It shows chemistry. It shows understanding of what they want to do, and then also that they could put it into play and they could actually make something of it. I think it's dope. I don't know how often they could run this set piece, but it worked one time, and I think you cash in that check, right?
Before we continue, Doug, I'm officially off the Lejet out train.
I've been telling y'all.
Can we?
Telling y'all.
Listen,
I asked for him to do it consistently, and he's done it consistently for 4 games. I think that's fair enough.
Let's recap what we didn't like about Lejet prior to this informed Lejet that we're seeing right now. Right?
Pass back Lejet.
Can I start? Pass back Lejet. Not aggressive, not pushing forward.
Yeah.
I mean, it's everything. It's everything. He's
take a player on.
Yeah.
Orlando Lejet wouldn't take a player on.
Yep.
That was my issue.
Yeah. Listen, he didn't have the confidence to put a through ball. He didn't have the confidence to make a pass that wasn't a clear pass, right? And we're seeing the opposite of that right now. I think that goes for a lot of players too, right? But Lejet being one of the focal points because we're in dire need of a cam, and at least the last 4 games he has been filling that position, right?
But you know what else it is though? With Lejet, and this also goes to this also applies to Kitchen. They came here with high expectations, and we expected a lot from them because we know that yes, we did. Yes, we did.
Hold on, I listen. I'm not disagreeing. Calm the fuck down. Relax. I'm just saying that we saw how good he could play prior to getting injured.
Yep.
That's it. We saw how good he could play prior to being injured, and then when he went to the call up with the US, then he came back, got injured. Obviously, he got
Missed the whole
injured. It
year.
took a while. Yeah, he missed a long time, but we never saw that legit again. And I think now we're seeing that legit and more.
Okay, fine. Apply from now on with Kitchen, right? Because Kitchen, when he came in, we had remember we're all hyped that he was coming in from was it Dundee United or where the fuck he was Motherwell or where the fuck he was coming
West
from?
Ham. Who?
From
No,
Scotland.
West Ham was Sebastian.
Oh,
We're
sorry.
talking about
A Kitchen came from
Oh, yeah,
wherever he came from. But what I'm saying is that these two players had all these expectations, right, to perform because we knew at the time that they were capable of doing so, right? But they weren't performing to the standards that they're supposed to be playing, which is why everyone kept bitching at them. Now I see people saying, "Oh, and everybody wanted them out." Yeah, rightfully so, because this is already 2 years now where they've been subpar.
What?
And look, I understand legit. I get it, right? It's taken him a while, fine, whatever. But with Kitchen, he hasn't had any significant injury. I mean, I know he had a stint last year that kept him out for a little bit, but it wasn't an injury to the degree where legit, where we understand where his why he's scared at times, right? To do things, to push forward, to take players on, to go in on a hard tackle. It's understandable. But even then, that's just because it's understandable doesn't mean it's something that we want. We
That's
need
okay.
a player that's gonna exactly. We need a player that's gonna fucking win us games and is gonna not be scared, not be a little bitch, right? And that's what he was. That's a fact.
Let me ask something, right? Because I'm hesitant to kind of wrap last 2 years together because I've been on that boat that we couldn't play a certain style because of Zlatan, right? We heard me ranting about this before, so I'm not gonna go over it. But how much can we give credit to them playing the positions the way they're playing them now versus what they did last year? I think the roles are much more clear now, and there's a style of play they're trying to implement, right? Whereas before, I think it was get down the line, cross Zlatan. Now I think there's more of a system. How much credit do we give that to these players actually performing to where they're performing at right now?
Yes and no. Yes and no, because
Oh,
I still
question.
think regardless of what position you're playing, you're still a professional player. You need to
Right.
understand the game. You like
Right.
it's not your first time playing soccer. It's not your first time getting on the field. So there's still a level of expertise that I need to see from you, no matter what position you're playing in.
I wanted to propose that
I
question
mean,
because I want some thoughts.
unless there's a goalkeeper, right? But I 100% understand what George says, and I think he's spot on. But again, to Alex Vasquez's point here on the chat, 6 years of the Jets to show up ain't cool, right? And you know what? Let's move a year and a half from that. And you know what? Let's also move his first year here, where the team actually made it to a playoff. But even then, that was his first year. Who knows, right? I'm still gonna stick to my whole last 2 years though, and it applies because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what system we're talking about, whatever. It's what George says. He's a professional. He's supposed to be good, and he can play on the wing. So it's like he can be serviceable there, right?
Man,
So I don't know. I just
let,
think
let
you're
me
being nice to him just because we're having 4 good games, which is good. This is exactly what this. You know what? It shouldn't even be this. We shouldn't be having this conversation. This conversation the last 2 years should have applied. Right now, it should just be copy and paste because these guys are actually playing good.
well let me ask a question though, right? Because we're pointing, 6 years of legit, whatever, but it's also been years of the Galaxy not performing well, right? And the question is this: how much of it was it that the team didn't have unity, didn't have chemistry? Because we're seeing right now, like it's hard to pinpoint players who are not performing right now, right? And that's including some of the players who are really down with legit being one of them. Like, so how much, how much weight does that carry, right? Because Galaxy wasn't good the last few years, and I think it kind of trickled down to like players having bad performance, especially players that we depend on. Thoughts on
But
that?
see, that's the problem, though. If we're depending on you, then what? How are we going to get any better? We're depending on you. That means if we're depending on you, there's this expectation because we've seen what you're able to do, and you're not providing that. So I can't ask a fucking 16-year-old, 17, 18-year-old to do that for me. And sure, they may end up doing it. I'm not saying they can't, but the expectation is not there for them to do that. You're not the leader of this team. You're not the veteran guy here. It's these guys who are the established guys, well, quote unquote established guys, the guys that we know what they can give, and that's why they've gotten so much shit. Right, and it's not Masa. Oh, I'm on the legit in train now. No, it's legit finally train because
Yeah.
this is exactly where the fuck we know. It's the same shit with Kitchens. The finally now Kitchen. And it's different for players like Bingham because we know that his best is what he's already given us. Whereas and Rudy, you're laughing, but this is what I'm
No,
getting.
no,
at.
I'm laughing at the chat.
It's-
I'm laughing at the chat. Not
yeah,
you.
okay, but it's not like I'm taking a shot at Bingham. We know that his best is average at best.
Yeah.
But we know that Kitchen, we know that legit at their best They're definitely above average. They're playing for
Well, the
our
game
team, and
changers,
that's what
right?
they're supposed to be. Yeah, they're game and they've been proving it the last 4 games.
Mhm.
But again, back to everything, that's where the issue has been. Right. So if people are saying, oh, well, we told you everyone wanted them out. Well, rightfully so, because these are guys that are supposed to be carrying our team. Listen, I don't expect David Bingham to carry my team. Never, ever. Right. But I do expect a guy like Kitchen to be that enforcer in that CDM run and support our back line, who we know for a while has been shit. Obviously now they're playing better, so is the guys in front of them, and everyone is. It's trickle down effect, right? But again, goes back to these players that we brought back supposedly because they were going to be it, right? These game changers or these guys to manage this team. It's not because we're in the legit in train now or the kitchen in train or Corona in. No, it's we've seen Corona play in fucking Mexico. He's won championships. We know what he can do.
Yeah.
Right. And that's where the issue is. If you guys don't understand this, like, oh, we're out here bashing him. It's not that we're bashing him. We know what these guys are capable of, and they're finally producing. Good, about fucking time. You're not getting a praise more so than what you deserve because you should have been doing this.
Listen, I hear you, and that's a take. But I also there's a lot to the freedom the players have this year, right? I know we're down on them at the beginning of the year, but I always want to say that they need time to develop what GBS is trying to do, because I think last year it's almost a wash because you play for Zlatan. I mean, we all agreed to that. We all agreed to, like, we played.
all agreed.
We play for Zlatan,
Yes.
right? This year is, like, in my opinion, this year is the first year GBS really has the full range to do with the team what he wants to do, at least in the field, right? I'm sure he wants other players, he wants to change some of these players, but like, this is the first year he's getting the chance to kind of make the team the way he wants to. And it took, listen, again, right? It was 2 games in the beginning of the season, one draw, and then as whipping at home by Vancouver, a long ass break, a whack ass tournament, and then now consistent run of games.
Well,
The fact that
I'm gonna shout out Angel right here because he said this though. He said you just got to give him the time. You got to give him the time. It's gonna take time to see the play style that he wants to apply. It's gonna take some time, and it's starting to show. Like, it's consistently starting to show what GBS is trying to do.
Yeah, and, you know,
And he may
and
not have all the players that he wants, but I mean, GBS has always been from the jump, and we've questioned it. Why does he have so much faith in Sebastian Lletget?
Yeah.
Why? Because he
It-
sees something that we don't
exactly.
see.
You know,
See,
and I've
what
been
happens when you see what, like, this is why I say I'm never gonna question GBS again. Like the whole Araujo thing and playing on the right instead of Efrain and him not playing right back. I didn't question this time. I was like, ooh, I was shocked.
Mhm.
But I was like, what the fuck are you doing? GBS is like, nope, I learned my lesson. Did it once, I'm not gonna fall into that shit because GBS knows what the fuck he's doing.
Yeah.
Right? He knows what he's doing.
Eric Perez says, you guys said the tournament was preseason. It was, and it felt that way. Unfortunately, though, it was for points, right? Like, that's the only downside of it. Like, that it was for points, and we missed out a lot of points. But listen, we figured something out because we dropped. We seem to have picked up right now in this phase 2. Let's go back and try to finish.
To support your claim right there, really quick.
Yep.
Orlando made it to the fucking final, and they've been. Maybe they've had one okay game, but they've been struggling. They don't look like the same fucking team that they did. Nani is
Portland.
non-existent. Well, Portland actually has been decent. And listen,
But they've been like win, loss, draw, win,
yeah,
right? Like, so
exactly.
it's not consistent. Yeah,
right, exactly. So that's proof. Like, listen, Seattle got fucking mollywopped by LAFC 3-1. There's a lot. New York City FC, I think they barely made it through because they ended up as the best third with, I think, negative points, or not negative points, but like 1 point or some shit. And they're doing well. I mean, it's, again, it's unfortunate that points mattered, but most teams took it as a preseason. And that's
most teams were in preseason, right? Because they had all those months off.
Right?
Listen, no matter, I get it. All the players had like these workouts from home that they were supposed to stick to and all that. It's not the same. It was never the same. All right, but we're getting off track. Let's try to finish this game up. We have one more golazo. Actually, you know what? We've seen this, but let me talk about something else before that. Before this play, Efra gets the ball in the midfield and gives a fucking dime to Lletget with the outside of his boot that he puts back for Jonah, and Jonah kind of tumbles into the box.
Oh, fucking Jonah, man.
Like, listen, and yes, fucking Jonah, but I want to go back and talk about Efra. right? Because we'll see right now when I play this back, like his touches have been deaf, bro. His touches have
He's
been so on
really
point. Like the minutes he's getting, he's showcasing like his vision, right? And
Masa's
his
fake
touches.
news. I've been telling y'all, Masa's fake news when it comes
I'm
to his
not fake
players,
news.
dog.
I'm
Fake
not fake
news?
news.
Uh,
Because when I made my claim, dog, Efro was a little fat boy.
Fuck you, he was skinny.
Nah.
No.
He was
Nah.
skinny already. He was skinny already. No, he was skinny already, and all the pictures were out.
I
Yeah,
don't
bro,
know.
but
Listen.
he hadn't been training like he was supposed to.
Okay, but I can see the future. You can't. You're fake news.
I just wanted to kind of stop and say that because I remember like I made it bold in my notes so I could like talk about this because I'm really impressed with that. That's some like
Yeah.
that's not your regular pass, right? Like we highlighted Sasha a few games back when he found some of these like really dope passes from different angles and different kind of touches. Efra's doing the same thing, and he's been doing it like every single time he gets his minutes. I'm liking that a lot. I don't know what that means. I don't know if that's enough to get him like a starting spot, but
You know
having
what?
that in your back pocket though, like having somebody with that smarts or with that eye, come on, like that was because that pass.
He doesn't even have to be a starter. Like it doesn't
No,
have to.
not at all.
But now, listen, the way that these guys in general are playing, right? The ones that are coming in, and I can't really speak for Cuello because we haven't seen him much. But even Dunbar came in and he added just a tad. Obviously, it was just a little bit, but now that teams are at least watching our product, right? Our players come in and they're actually performing. It doesn't matter if the rain starts. You guys remember a few episodes back, actually during the MLS Backers tournament, based on what our team was doing then, we were talking about like if you're GPS, you're looking at the bench, who the fuck can you bring in? Like you're not shaking anyone.
No.
Listen, right now, Jonathan's been coming off the bench, and our team has been probably playing better without him right now, right? Just to say, we're still missing Yoni in the mix, right?
Mm-hmm.
Somehow Yoni's gonna have to fit into this team. Okay, Efrain's been coming right now, and he's been looking good, like Rudy said. Chicharito's he's not even here yet, right?
Oh, he was at the game.
Well, and he
Okay.
actually looks skinny too, which is
Yeah,
crazy.
okay, all right, cool. Get it wasn't me. Listen,
Yeah.
I'm like
Yeah.
Chicharito fucking sympathizer, so I didn't want to say it, but I'm glad you said it. 'Cause
Yeah, he did.
Okay, and
He's been training He's been training too.
I've been
and
juicing. Stop.
right, and Dunbar, right? So, we forgot to even mention Kleshton, right? So that's 6 players right
You
now.
know why you
we're
forgot to
talking-
mention Sasha?
Why?
Just want to add to it. Efra basically hijacked Sasha's minutes.
But that's
that's
the
what-
point. That's the point, though.
But
Right.
Sasha's hurt as well too.
Right,
He
true.
was,
But the
yeah.
point is that Kleshton is capable, and teams know this,
Mhm.
right? So what I'm saying now, if you're any team in the MLS, looking at what our team is doing the last 4 games in a row, and it's not just one player, it's whoever's coming in from said player is also giving that same type of impact. And that's the shit that I've been asking for the longest is if you're on the bench, are you pressing the guy on the field? Are you making sure that he's gonna be playing 100%? Because if you have a slip up, again, this goes back to my David Bingham thing. David Bingham right now is on a short leash, and George and I had a brief conversation about this on Instagram. Is he needs to keep having these type of first half performances? Otherwise,
Yeah.
he's on a
Keep
short
him
leash.
on.
Like, yeah, he's on a short leash. Like to me, if you're anyone, no one can tell me shit right now because I don't even have to say anything. I don't.
Even if they did, you wouldn't listen, so it doesn't matter. Go ahead.
Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. Because Galaxy feel the same way. That's why they went out and got Klinsmann. If they didn't have some insecurities about Bingham, we would not have Klinsmann on the bench right now. Right?
He's
So
not
he's on a
wrong.
short leash. So he's on a short leash.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like,
Hey,
everyone else, it's not even a bad thing. It's good, man. Like if you're legit, if you're like fuck it, even if I do come out for whatever reason, I know Efra's gonna give me this. I know Clash is gonna give me this. If you're any other team, now you don't only have to prepare for the current squad, you're starting 11. You also have to prepare for like, oh shit, Chicharito's coming off the bench. And listen, I still have my beliefs with Chicharito until he starts performing. He's getting no pass, but he's looking skinny, so he's on his way there, right? But just the name Chicharito, right? You know this if you're the team. You know he can't score goals, right? If you're saying, oh shit, I've seen Efrain play lately, look what he can do. You've seen Dunbar 30 minutes, in one game and 10, 15 here and there, and you see what he does in a few minutes, it's already starting to click.
Yeah.
And this type of depth that I'm talking about, it's not just depth because you need depth. No, it's depth that's capable.
Well, it's strategical, right? There's key pieces there. It's not just numbers in the bench. It's like pieces depending on what the game needs. There's different pieces you could bring in, and how clutch is that? I mean, just how clutch is that? You know what I mean? Like that's dumb. Listen, we talked about it a little bit on our depth episode of maybe a couple months back now. And at that point, we gave nods to some of the players, but a lot of players were like, we don't know if we could bring them in, right? We had a lot of questions. and some of those questions are starting to get answered. Let's go into his goal, because this goal, again, really well played goal. Look at that touch where fucking Efra puts Rafa White again, finding that space, and then Leggett too, like peeling back, losing his defender by taking the space behind him. Good eye on Rolf, good touch on Rolf for setting that up, and then my man is feeling himself, right? Because a non-confident Leggett doesn't go for the bicycle kick, doesn't go for the scissors kick, right? He goes, he'll stop it, and he probably look for a pass. So somebody else coming in. My man wanted that second goal, and my man wanted like a banger goal like that.
You got it.
Killed him, bro.
Yo, man, like I mean, all of us, right? And again, I had a video that I figure a way out how to play it right now. None of us 4 weeks ago thought that this was what Galaxy was capable of with the players.
Fake news. All that, everything you're about to see, I said that just for the views. I knew it.
Listen,
I saw it, and I didn't really say anything out there that's gonna make me look bad, except for the San Jose thing. I said every other game is winnable.
Listen, hey, I'm not trying to make anybody look bad, right? But the general feeling 4 weeks ago, feeling 4 weeks ago was that we couldn't really do anything with the players that we had.
What y'all gonna see, I did that for the views. Don't.
Fuck that. George is right though, and rightfully so, based on what we had seen there from the players. It's not even GBS, because we've been defending GBS. We've said it. Go listen to those podcasts. What the players, and I think Masa was the one that said this on record, is the players not performing to what GBS needs or his standards, and now they are. So no, what George says was spot on at the time. What Rudy said spot on at the time. What Masa said, everything that was said then, even what Binassi said at the time, it was all spot on. Right, so that's not going to change. The fact that they're actually playing better is different.
Regardless of who said it in that video playing them, and regardless of who said it, we all felt similar to what we were saying. You know what I mean? Like, and not just us four. Like, you saw it on Twitter. You saw it on LA Galaxy's post.
Yeah, Agnews, LA. Corner of the Galaxy, you name it. The sentiment for the most part was the same. Sure, maybe a few things here and there. A point could be on here, or maybe a win here. Whatever. But for the most part, no one expected 4 out of 4. And if someone said it, shit. Listen, show me. I'll take a shot.
Let's go to Vegas.
I don't think I clipped that part, but I don't think anybody predicted more than 9 points.
I predicted 0.
You know what I mean? And we're at 12 points with 3 points to go, right? We'll see what happens on Saturday, right? I think we'll see what happens then. But nobody predicted this.
Fuck San Jose again, man. Fuck San Jose.
And let me just throw this last piece of note I had here is Pavon breaks out on a 1-on-1 versus the goalkeeper, and just slightly puts it over and hits the crossbar. Who gave that pass?
Cuello.
Cuello put that pass. Again, I'm not saying like Cuello needs to start, Cuello needs more minutes, nothing like that, right?
Wow.
But what I'm saying though,
he's serviceable. He's not like, he's a game changer, but he's serviceable. Not only that, now that I think about it, he low key cracked Rossi too, so I'm cool with that.
Listen, but even more than that, right? Like the whole team is vibing right now. The whole team feels confident right now, right? Because Cuello,
Pavon's not worth $700 million. He should have scored that.
But you know, I mean, putting him on the way he does, it's into space. The pass again, it's one of those touches that I was talking about with Efra. It's one of those touches that kind of takes the defense away and gives opportunity to Pavon, who we want to have opportunities right now, like that, right? And again, it's unfortunate he gets just a little too under and hits the crossbar. But you know that was 4-0, and that's a running at them. Overall, man, I'm super impressed. Super impressed.
I picked it at 4-2.
Is that what you did?
Yeah, I picked it at 4-2.
2-0.
I didn't expect our defense to come through. In the first half, I was shaking, but it is what it is.
I see the schedule.
Let me go ahead and play this real quick.
We're going into this shit with the same fucking team, so I'm not expecting much.
It's a couple.
Chat, let me know if you guys hear audio on this.
You never know.
No, I can't hear anything.
That's the process.
This game right here kind of will determine a lot of what we see from
Moderators. I know we have some moderators in there. They're gonna be like 20 seconds behind though.
Yeah.
Draw.
What do you guys want to talk about? That's a way for
draw.
All right, I'm gonna go with Dove because I gotta do it.
Badass L, dog.
George, you're going for a Dove in this one, right? Another L. All right, listen, I agree with you guys though. I think unanimously, I think this is an L, which sucks.
We get 2 L's, and that's how we get the dub.
I feel exactly what Angel was saying. We can win this, it could be a draw, but this is one that we can probably win.
Then we close out with
L, fat ass L.
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 Big
L.
ass
We ain't
L.
gonna talk about
L.
a fat ass L.
Yeah,
L.
why? Yeah, fat.
the sentiment, like the general sentiment around the Galaxy right now is we're all down on them, right? We don't believe they have anything to offer,
Right.
and this is going nowhere, right? Like this is a sinking ship. With that being said, none of us called 6 L's. We all saw the team coming with some points here or there. Yeah.
Y'all saw that? Hold up. The W's meant the 4 W's that we were gonna get. Y'all should have read between the lines. Y'all ain't smart enough.
All I'm gonna say is that I said anything could happen in rivalry games. So
yeah, you did. Again, I put that out just to kind of showcase how we were feeling at that time, right? And again,
hold on. Chat, what the fuck? If you guys believe, to Angel's point, if you guys believe that this team was gonna come out here and do this shit,
yeah, you're lying.
Yeah, you get the fuck out of here.
Listen, I put that because even us, right? Like, even me, I'm probably the most optimistic about this team at all times. 4 weeks ago, that was recorded August 11th, so it's almost a month to the day. I was down on the team. I was down on all the players. I was down on the team. I was down with everything with the organization, how I was handling things. Fast forward 4 weeks, and right now I'm fucking hyped, bro. I'm fucking hyped because this is not even 100% what the team is, right? We're missing, like Angel said, we're missing Yoni. We're missing Chicharito really getting fully integrated to the team. We're missing all this, right? And it's still growth in the team, growth in the. Just growth in the team and how they play and fully understanding how GBS wants them to play. It's crazy how 4 weeks time, could change a lot of this, right? It changes the way we're thinking. Because I'm going now, and I won't dive into it because we're gonna do a tailgate episode for the next game. But I'm going into, we're going into San Jose game, and I'm feeling confident as fuck. 4 weeks time. 4 weeks time. Any closing notes on the game? Any closing notes on how we're feeling about the Galaxy right now?
Shout out to Pew. Shout out Perry Kitchen. Shout out to all the players that step up when you didn't think they were gonna step up.
Shout me out.
Shout out George.
Hell yeah.
Two soccer crazy asked, "Are you trusting the process now?"
Yes, Carlisa. Though.
I've been trusting the process.
Ben knew it.
Everybody said GBS
My
out.
man.
No. Everyone said, not us.
No, I'm not okay. Except straight from the start of saying,
watch your mouth.
Ecuador needs to take GBS right now, and I was like, no, that's a fat ass L right now. That is a super fat ass L right now. And look at y'all now,
man. Listen,
look at that, bro. Let me pause that shit.
There's something that no one can say that we're hypocrites or anything like that. First of all, we're the reason GBS is in this team. I can confirm that directly from Chris Pine's mouth. He said, "We got your guys, the guy."
Is there a
100%? He said that.
There's no coincidence that we took the very first picture with him.
Yep, exactly. People don't believe us, but listen, if you guys don't believe it, this is not one of those I can't confirm it. I know this is facts, bro. This is facts. GBS is here. You're welcome because it's straight from the stands. But
regardless of that, right?
And now he's here. We're gonna keep defending him because he knows what he's doing.
And regardless of that, like it just goes to show. I mean, the whole intention of that video is to show that, that's where all of us are at, right? Again, we take shit and we break it down to the way we see soccer, the way we consume the game, and there are ties to the team. But we were pretty spot on with the rest of you guys who were really down on the team, not GBS, because I mean the boys have said it right now. Like, I don't think any of us was on GBS out on that train yet, but we were down on the team, and they turned it around. You guys seen how I treated DePew. I said I want to see a run of 4 games before I kind of give a nod to him, and it's done. Same thing with the team. I wasn't even believing. After the first game we beat LFC, I still wasn't believing it. Second game I was like, okay. Third game, like, listen, I gotta believe.
I remember when Pavon's coming before he came and he was a rumor. People were like, no, Pavon is washed, blah blah. I remember we fucking came on here, and I don't recall how we talked about it. Whatever. Net is there was people saying that he's not worth it because he was a wash. He couldn't do this, blah blah blah. We've been saying Pavon in, and look, everyone's now saying fucking let's do a cooperacha here so we can get $20 million to fucking pay for Pavon.
Again, we're not trying to measure dicks or anything like that. We're just trying to showcase how this team has turned it around for all of us.
Trying to showcase.
Listen, like the team has turned it around. Are we? Do you guys agree with me? Are you guys in the same
Yeah,
boat with me, or is that just me?
a
Because
turnaround point already, bro. 4 wins in a row is not luck.
and
It's
the
not
way
luck.
and the way they're doing it too, right? Like the way they're doing it, like it's not like these ugly lucky wins. Like I think that for even this game after the first half, like you know what I mean, like it was clear that the Galaxy was going to take that game. So I fucks with that. I know we got a shit ton of.
Final thought, and I mean I can't, and I apologize whoever said in the live chat. You guys can find it. Feel free to shut them out. Someone mentioned DTK. Has built the roster well. Not just that, there were some people that also wanted DTK out. And just to add one more thing to this, DTK is not only responsible for G2. I mean G1. He's also responsible for the academy and G2. Listen, G2 just won another game. Was it
With
yesterday?
16-year-old on the
Yeah,
roster,
exactly.
bro. That
Exactly.
shit is
16,
crazy.
17. They won another game. I think who they beat? OC was it? I think they won 1-0. I
Yeah,
don't
they
even
beat
know.
OC. They beat OC 2-1, I think, or some shit like
Something like that. Yeah, but it was point is, listen, they're
Shout out
getting.
to my bad. Shout out to Cuevas, dog, with another free kick goal for G2.
You seen that?
Jesus
Woo!
Christ, bro. That kid is
Woo!
something
Bro,
else.
nice. But I bring this up because not just our main squad is getting results. Galaxy 2 is also getting results, and they look good doing it. Obviously, they're not gonna look great every single game. Like Galaxy obviously didn't look good, and our Big Galaxy didn't look good in that first half. But look at that, we did the second half. And same thing. If you guys really haven't right now, you guys should be catching these two whenever you can.
You know what?
You will not miss a single Galaxy 2 game.
You know what I'm liking about it too? That there's similarities in between teams right now in the way they're attacking, and kind of like the philosophy behind it. And I like that because that makes it easier for a transition between
Yeah,
the
and that's how it should be,
to
right?
yeah, accurate. Like, I
It's
mean,
it
that's Cantera,
hasn't
right?
never it hasn't been like that, but it should be like that.
Yep.
When you want to pick a player up from G2, like, yo, man, let's
Yeah,
kill
you're
it
not
like this kid.
reintroducing to a system, right? Like they know the system already.
Right.
So I think it's clutch. Just shout out to Carlisa. I said I survived 3 bad years with Lalas, the debacle after an awful. I never lost faith in the team. And as buenas y las malas, and to say shout out Carlisa for that because that's accurate as fuck.
Also in the chat, he's the one that made the DTK comment.
All right, we got a shit ton of questions, so we're gonna get into that.
San Jose.
Fuck San Jose. Yeah. Let's go. All right, George, take it away. Take it away,
All right.
Johnny.
We're gonna start off with it's Eric Sosa. With the team this good, are you scared of Yoni G or Chicha will ruin the chemistry? 100% no.
No.
You are
And
never
the
scared when
opposite.
good players come into a team.
Yeah,
Yeah, bro.
to me, it's the opposite.
It should make it easier for them because you just plug them in, right? Like how you did with Keen. I don't want to compare, but it's like the Galaxy were already playing good football, and then you plug in someone like Keen. If the player is quality, like we think that he is, then there should not be any issues to plug him in.
And just to add to that, like whoever's coming in, Yoni, Chicha, and Jonah, as we're seeing, are gonna have to earn their spot because we're seeing that GBS is not throwing Jonah out there just because it's Jonah, right? The team is working well, and for whatever reason, he's keeping his team right there. So I'm hoping that's the same case with Yoni. Although I think Chicharito will get the nod just because Subek is under par.
Also, another thing, they're also coming into a team right now that's positive. Everyone's in a good mood.
Yeah.
They're coming into a locker room where everyone has their head down and like, fuck, are we gonna lose again? No, it's this time, fuck yeah, let's go beat these guys again. We just beat 4 guys, let's go beat this 5th, this 6th, this 7th, this 8th. So that's different. I think that's the change.
100%.
All right. Josue wants to know: are you guys jumping on the Bingham bandwagon, or should Klinsmann get the shot to start? I think you let him play another game, and then once he fucks up, which is gonna happen soon, just put in Klinsmann.
I think I said it.
Go for it.
Go for it. No, you go.
I feel like it depends. Honestly, it depends on this next game. Because I said that after when phase 2 starts, I feel like if there was a time to move the goalkeeper, then it's there. Right now in phase 1, you want to just stick to what's working, and it's working somehow because that was fucked up. But it's in between phase 1 and phase 2. We'll see the change. If it happens, it's gonna happen. If it doesn't, it's because that pressure from Klinsmann is making Bingham somehow play better if it's possible.
I don't know. So far, it's just one half.
Playing competent.
One half.
Well, listen, I think to Angel's point, right? Like one half, and the fact that the team is getting results does not change the fact that he's a trash keeper, right?
Yeah.
So like again, I think like George had mentioned, I think like all of you guys have mentioned, he's walking a tightrope where he fucks up and he knows he's gonna get benched. So that's what I think. One half is not gonna change his mind on Bingham.
Yeah, I agree. All right. Junior wants to know, honestly, do you think anyone associated with the Galaxy expected them to go 4-0 these last games with what happened in Orlando? Fans, players, coaches? Not one person. I don't care what anyone says. No one said it.
I'm
Um,
go for it. Go for it.
Logan wants to know. He says Alan Chapman is the worst ref ever. Also, Rolf definitely picked it up in the second half. Yep.
Yeah, especially attacking, right? I mean, we called it out a couple times, but attacking wise, I think he was definitely a good option.
And
Eric is right in the chat. Angel wouldn't piss on Bingham if he was on fire. That's true.
Logan also adds Bingham's actually look good in this game. Big Ocho shout out Bernie says, can someone clarify Galaxy paying the refs? It's BS. I guess that was a thing going around.
I mean, if I'm not mistaken, technically Galaxy does pay the refs because doesn't the home team pay the ref? Isn't that how it works?
Accurate.
So yeah,
$6 a player.
Yeah. So the fuck what? We are paying the refs.
$6 a player. $6 a player to pay the ref or not?
Yeah, you said people sound fucking hurt. Shut up. Abner Ortiz wants to know, when Chicha is back, do you keep him on the bench or play? If it's not broken, don't fix it.
Play him.
Oh, I mean, we need a goal scorer, bro.
Yeah,
you put that man on. He starts.
We need a goal scorer.
Yeah, that and Zubek again. I get his work ethic. I get that he works and he runs and fine, but what the hell is the point of just running and running? Listen, you're seeing everyone else around you find a way to score goals, and you still can't. And I get the one game against LAFC, but again, that's just a one-time thing. He didn't do it before. He hasn't done it since.
Okay, I don't even think he's taking a shot this last game.
Yeah,
well, he took a shot. It just wasn't a frame.
Right,
Yeah.
and that he should have fucking made that.
And the only reason Jonah is not starting is because the midfield is reliable. They're doing well, so he's actually fighting for it. Chicha's not walking into that. He's walking to Zubak. Yeah.
Listen.
There's no question. I mean, maybe one game or two just to let him ease his way into the squad, maybe if that. But there's nothing about Zubak right now that's saying, "Oh, I'm the guy that's gonna start even when Chicharito's 100%."
I'll say this too, right? Shout out to him because he has made the defense have to worry about him where he's at because he moves a lot. So he wasn't a complete wash, but definitely if you have Chicharito, I don't think it's a fucking question. You start your striker like that.
You play the man.
Because even his name, and the way he makes runs off the ball, he's pulling people, and that's just gonna open up everybody else. Yeah.
All right. He also says, not a question, but I'd like to see Gordon Wild and Dunbar and Corneau come in and play.
Listen, I think there's been some minutes for the players who deserve it, right? I'm sure they're seeing something on the training field, and they're getting the minutes, and those are the minutes that I think they deserve, right? Efra not for the start, but even the minutes he's getting now, same thing with Dunbar. We've seen Dunbar come in not 2 games in a row, whatever his trash minutes, but these are players you're developing and you're bringing them along, so all these minutes are valuable for him. I think they're doing well right now. You know what I mean?
I would like to see Korniak though. I think I've seen again. This was the preseason. That's how far back it was. Our actual preseason, and he looked pretty good on that right wing, and he gave me the same type of. I'm not gonna say impact, but I had similar feelings about Korniak in his role as I did about Dupuy in his role. So that's why I would like to see more of Korniak.
Yeah,
I would.
I agree. Listen, and I would like to see more Wild, but I'm trusting the fuck out of GBS right now.
Right,
that he knows what the fuck he's doing. Right?
Yep.
GBS season, bro.
Yeah.
All right. Money Mike wants to know, when do we expect Yoni to be available to play for the G's?
No fucking idea.
Practice.
Listen, apparently, and a very reliable source of
David
Alaba said he saw him at In and Out. So
on the field reporter for Straight from the Stands, David Alaba. All right. What happens to the starting lineup when Sione joins the team? By the way, fuck lames. I think that's a more interesting question because I think Araujo is playing well and Rolf is not doing as much to fuck up his position. So I think Yoni gets transitioned into the team unless something really crazy happens and that Rolf really fucks up.
There's one thing I will say about Araujo, and I don't know if maybe he probably played winger before. I don't know, but I'm starting to see more confidence in his footwork. There was I can't remember what he did in that. I think it was the second half where he did a quick pullback and then
inside the box.
Yeah,
inside the box. Yeah. No,
he's so calm, dog. Oh my god.
Dog. I was like, same.
I mean, in that moment, it's like, oh, see, that's why I'm not pro because I can't do that as a right back, right? And
No,
he can as a right back. So I'm seeing a bit more of him, and
Yeah.
he's one that I wouldn't be mind being like about. Okay, I was wrong, about him playing on that wing
Yeah.
role. However, I haven't seen enough of Yoni Gonzalez, but from what I have seen and the comparisons to Pavon, if that is the case, I'm salivating at having another player like Pavon on the opposite wing. I get what Araujo can give me, and so far he's looking better in that wing role. I don't know if it's just he's getting more confident and not afraid to go at players. Because listen, there's some things he's doing right now that I didn't expect for him to do. But if you're telling me that Yoni Gonzalez is going to be even 50% of what Pavon is right now, I will find a way to make Yoni Gonzalez work on that wing.
Yeah.
You know what? And at this point on this team, and you see it with Jonathan staying out, you have to work your way into the starting lineup.
Yeah, facts.
Because I mean, Jonah to me should have been ready by now to play 80, 90 minutes, at least a starting role. You know, you can
Yeah.
sub him out into 75. I think he has what it takes to play that against LAFC, and he didn't. So
Yep.
you got to work your way in, bro.
And just one more thing on Araujo. Was I the only one that's surprised by his pace?
You know what? It
I-
shouldn't even
I
surprise
was-
us, bro. 'Cause
I was surprised by it. Like, I'm sorry.
motherfucker's fast, bro.
Yeah, man.
I-
Like, there was 2 times that I didn't think he was gonna get to the ball, and he got there with ease. And I was like, damn, I didn't know he was that fast. Like, maybe,
Last
There
game
was
is when
one
you
where
saw
he
that.
when he
the
was
second to last
running
game.
right next to someone, and then he took a touch, and then he just started slowly getting away, and it was like,
Mhm.
yo, what the fuck?
Yeah, like,
how
I was
fast
surprised
is
by
this
that.
fool?
All
right.
Okay. All right.
Gruffy wants to know, pretty sure Leggett tells Pavon not to leave after the last goal, and Pavon's lips say no me voy. I just went back to look at the replay. I couldn't see it, so I can't.
Wait, can you say that again?
Pretty sure Leggett tells Pavon not to leave after the last goal, and Pavon's lips say no me voy.
Se vale soñar. Se
Yeah,
vale
I'm
soñar.
okay with that.
Soñar,
Soñar.
Yeah, Pavon.
The LA Galaxy fan talk. Hey, what up? Is the club a contender or way too early to judge?
You know what?
Listen,
I want to
wait.
see. I want to see Galaxy at 100%. Because if this is the Galaxy at 80%, since we're technically missing 2 players, I want to see this team clicking with everybody on, and I think we have a good chance of being a contender.
I agree with
not
that.
even-
Listen,
I'm not even bullshitting, bro. Like I didn't think it was possible, but if we play like this and we fucking figure out the little issues we have here and there, because we still have issues defensively. We've been doing better. I think we could do it, bro.
that just still fucks in my head. The fact that I'm 100% with you. I'm giddy about it, right? I'm excited. Oh, but fucking 4 weeks, we're like, fuck this team. Like, this team is trash. Fire to everybody.
I got like
it's so wild,
butterflies
bro.
in my stomach and a mid chub, bro. Like let's do this shit. Let's do this shit.
Let's do it.
Pictures or didn't happen?
Later, baby.
Only
Slide in the
Galaxy
DMs.
News should know. Should Jonas start or should we keep the midfield the same? Honestly, midfield has looked solid so far.
I'm gonna maybe everybody's gonna disagree with me, but I think we repeat. Let Jonah rest out his injury, bro. If the team is fucking clicking, let it rest out. Let him get fully healed. Let him be 100%. And if we haven't lost, so let's repeat what's working.
And I
Let
just
him
that,
earn his
man,
spot back.
I'm gonna go back
Let
to
him
this
earn-
whole thing as when you have a player like Jonathan coming in off the bench, that just fucks with your psyche if you're their team. If the game is 0-0, 1-1, or the Galaxy are up 1, to me it's kind of like what Portland did against us. You see this flurry of players coming in that can change the game. That's what Jonathan is right now. And there's nothing wrong with that. The purpose is to win.
I'm
And
gonna
to add-
disagree. I'm sorry.
And to my bad, I want to add one more thing, right? And this could be like a fucking like a strategy by front office too. Like, hey man, you're coming off the bench, bro. You sure you don't want to come down on time?
Tinfoil
Like-
hat. Tinfoil hat.
Hey,
Tinfoil
hey,
hat.
I
think
like
about
that.
it. Think
I
about
like
it, bro.
that.
You're coming
Listen,
off the bench. Like we know your quality, but right now, man, the boys are playing, bro. Like, hey, you might take a 0.2.
listen. I'm gonna disagree with you, right? Because I want to see this team at 100%, and I think the team at 100%, at least in my mind, includes Jonathan Santos being the dictator of that midfield, right? And if he's ready,
want to throw him in though, right?
no. But listen again, right? If he's ready, and it, at least by, I think I mean, I'm assuming he is. And if he's ready, I think yeah, let's put him back in there. Like just because again, we want to see Chicharito back in there as well. We want to see Yoni come in and if he gets that spot, be in there. I want to see the team 100% because this team is good enough. I think Jonah in the field makes the team better all the time.
I
Can we
agree.
agree on one thing?
Monday?
Can we agree on one thing?
Yes.
That right now that midfield is finding a way to click. So this is a good
Amazing.
problem to have. The fact that we're having a conversation about whether Jonathan should or should not be starting. What the
It's crazy.
fuck?
Yeah. We talked about this in the tailgate, right?
I love
Dude,
Jonah too, bro.
we talking about this,
I love Jonathan. I love Jonathan 100%. I backed him from the jump, dog. When people were like, "Oh, he's just here because Gio's here," whatever, bro. I knew he was quality.
He's a baller.
You also backed up Gio, so
Yeah, I did. Still, but yo, like right now, I wouldn't start him straight up. I would not start him. Unless he does something miraculous in training this week. Then GBS gives him the nod. Then all right, fuck it. GBS knows what he's doing, bro. But if that shit is not broken, don't fix it.
Let me ask a question though. Let me ask a question.
Yeah.
Do you think Kitchen or Benny are better quality than Jonah?
No.
no.
And now I understand that you're saying the chemistry, but I don't think Jonah is a player that's gonna disrupt that chemistry, right?
The thing is with me that if you pull out Kitchen, Jonah needs to do things that Kitchen was doing, which is going to take away from what we've seen.
But I don't even at this point. I don't even think Kitchen's the one that's going to get.
I think Corona's the one that comes out.
Yeah.
No. So I was going to get there too. If you take away Corona, there's a better upside of Jonah being in the Corona, and that's saying a lot because Joe Benny has been playing a really, really good game.
Yep, I agree. Listen, again, it's a headache. It's a headache we've been wanting.
Yeah,
it's a problem. That's crazy.
Yep.
All right. Rodriguez says, "Play me on Fall Guys or Call of Duty. Taking all the smoke. Gamer tag is at Shuko _ tuk tuk.
Oh hell yeah! I like his fucking gamer tag. It's Shuko Gur tuk tuk. I fucks with that.
Coming out here with the fucking dialect and shit.
Logan Jones says, "This was said like 3 messages, but this one said, but Bingham is still trash."
Yep.
Edwin 08 Brian says, "How is it possible for Bingham to suck so hard, then have the game of his life?" It's okay, but it's still a game. It's still a game. Average out, it's a game for him, and he's doing that because he has pressure. I truly believe that.
Yeah.
You know what? Let me say still though, that's terrible. The fact that this was a game of your life and how long that you've been with us.
Listen, but I don't think nobody's disagreeing with you that though. Like we know this first.
Sure.
To be fair, he did something that I'm glad he did. I know it's fucking late in the game for him to be learning shit, but there was a cross that he like punched out wide. Like, you know what I mean? It wasn't back to the middle. It was out wide. It was a force. It was an intention. I was like, finally, I guess. You know what I mean? It only took whatever.
He gave it to his teammate. Yep. So there's that.
All right. Yeah. Albertino Morales says, "How's the Chicharito fit in our current squad? Do we make Pavon a striker?" Absolutely 100% not. You do not move that man from where he's playing. I'd rather keep Zoop back there than to put Pavon as a striker.
It's just Pavon as a striker does not work out. You want him 1v1 against people because he's gonna murk everybody 1v1.
Yep.
There's not a single fucking defender in the MLS that has contained him. Not one.
Oh, I don't even think there's anyone in this league as fast as Pavon, bro. That shit is crazy.
Listen, right now, that right back for San Jose right now is probably having nightmares, huh? That he's gonna have to go up against them.
Yeah.
Right.
Just one more thing on Chicharito, because I know we talked about Pavon, but Chicharito, like, let's please remember he's played 3 games with the club, and we already, everybody's ready to be off with him, but he played 3 games with the club. Just remind you that, like, you know what I mean?
AI Lopez says, "Has Perry Kitchen earned his place in the starting 11 going forward? And how sneaky fast is Depuy?"
Yeah. I mean,
but the Depuy thing shouldn't be a surprise to anyone because we talked about the fact that he was a forward, and now a lot of his defensive style makes sense where he's a bit more aggressive than your typical defender.
But also to the question, right? Like, he's a big guy with pace. I didn't think he had because he's so big. Like, he moves lighter than what you assume because he's big. You know what I mean? Like, I think we
saw him in a preseason game, and you guys were talking. And I remember, I think it was you or Masa that mentioned this in one of the preseason games that not only was he moving forward, he was quick and he knew what to do inside the box. And that was before we all realized that he used to play, forward, which a lot of it now makes sense, right? So
Yeah,
I just think it's just an oversight at this point, but I don't think it's
100%.
right.
All right, Glenn wants to know, who do we bench when Jonah is fit? Joe Benny or Kevin Kitchen? Comment, Joe, we'll bite by one when we want to, not when you say.
All right, Glenn went in.
All right, Glenn with one end is tripping. But I think Joe Benny sits.
It's crazy.
Hard to make that call, bro, because man.
No, but listen, can we all agree that the Kitchen is the fucking enforcer in the midfield?
I mean,
so you don't move him, right? Joe Benny right now is Joe Benny right now is. Go for it, sorry.
I will say that his yellow card against his best game was kind of dumb.
Who saves that goal against the one roll?
What you mean? Who saves that goal? That happened on their half, like just borderline. His yellow card was.
No, I think you guys are talking about two different things. Two separate things.
Yeah, you guys are.
His yellow card was.
Masa's talking about the goal he saves.
Yeah, like it's hard
saying,
I know, but Masa's talking about the goal he saves, like two separate things.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm not disagreeing with Masa. I'm just saying that that's the only knock I'm going to give him. That was a very stupid yellow to me to take, where he took it and that early in the game.
It was a mistake.
For that necessarily, yeah, it was a mistake. But I just think it's not. That's the only knock. That's probably the only knock I'm really going to give him.
Masa, but to counter your who saves that goal, Kitchen does the same thing in the second half when Rossi gets away, and Filcher can't keep up with him. Kitchen kind of reads it right, and when he tries to cut it, he's there to block it. So like
that's what I'm saying. It's a hard decision to make.
Yeah. Again, I
it'd be like, oh, I want to sit down Perry Kitchen or I want to sit down Joe Benny Corona when they're both putting in this fucking work that's working. Like they're both working hard for the team.
I'd rather have Kitchen sit down because then we're gonna expect Jonah to do that, and Jonah still likes to push up, and I don't think he's gonna be able to do that.
Jonah's able to push up.
No, you're trying to argue today, huh? Relax, calm the fuck down. You're trying to argue. Ew. Drinking protein, have an Oreo, calm down. I said if Kitchen is out, Jonah has to still defend and push up, as opposed to if Joe Benny sits out, he knows that Kitchen could defend.
Yeah, I apologize. I just got mesmerized with Mike Araujo here in the chat. Says Araujo is a real enforcer. Low-key, I think Mike Araujo is just Julian Araujo in our chat, dog. I think
just to wrap this question up, we all agree that right now the roles are Kitchen is defensive midfielder who's an enforcer, and Joe Benny is the box to box.
Yep.
Right. Yep. So to me, like if Jonah is healthy and ready to go, Jonah gets enough for me because although I like Joe Benny a lot, Jonah is a better quality player all around, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right. Alex wants to know, will the Jet still be as effective as he is now when Chicha joins the squad? I hope so.
I think more so.
More so. Yeah, he's gonna get more space, bro. Like, look at the. Let's go back example with.
Sorry. We didn't mean to fuck you up, but that's just funny.
Eric Perez in the chat says Jorge and Angel are like Shaq and Charles from inside the NBA.
That's just funny, bro. I got to laugh.
I'm Shaq.
Let's go back to that play where Zubac's wide open, bro. You think they're gonna let Chicha breathe like that?
No way.
Pass, bro. And that's just gonna open up more space for everybody else to legit Pavon and our other whoever it may be.
Jonah, run Jonah. Yeah, I agree.
Desmond wants to know, do you think Yoni's going to make a difference? Shit, we're bringing him to make a difference, so I hope so.
Yeah,
I hope so. But listen, it's working out right now, right? So we're not super depending on him working out immediately. Like because the team is performing well right now, you could ease him into the team, ease him into the system, and then hopefully he performs the way we want to. But we're not depending on him, and that is fucking clutch, right? Because he can make us that much better, but we're already performing right now. And if we keep this as they're showing like they can, because 4 games in a row, we're good. We're good, man. We're good. I'm hyped.
Wow.
All right. Saul Danger says, what do you think of Jonah playing a more offensive position, as well as does Nick Dupuy deserve a look by Greg Berhalter for the U.S. men's national team?
Oh yeah, absolutely. To the second one, I can't think of a single center back right now in all of MLS that plays the way that Dupuy does. I can't think of a single one. And I've been watching a lot of MLS lately too, so I can't speak for it.
And he fits the mold of a typical American defender, right? Like he fits.
Yeah.
I mean, he's cut by that
Size-wise?
mold. Yeah, exactly.
Marlon.
Was the other part of his question?
And the other part of the question was, what do you think of Jonah playing a more offensive position?
I mean, Jonah's box to box, so he's gonna
Mhm.
find his way into
I mean, he
the.
did last game. You gotta
Yeah.
Well, he's played Cam too, though. He played Cam last game, right? He played Cam when he's coming in. He's coming in as Cam, and that's where the movie kind of always legit to, right?
remember when he was playing Cam against New York City FC and he fucking scored.
Scored that banger.
Yeah, he does.
All right. Eric B wants to know, you think Chicha's the next Gio? Because right now I do. I don't.
I don't think so.
Again, he played 3 games with the team, bro.
I think they're saying that based off of the injuries and all that and all the.
It's because he's Mexican. That's
There's
why.
no secret that no, fuck that. I've made my case for Chicharito why he's not cut out for this team the way it was built, right? And the way that they were playing. Right now we are playing different. We are having some creativity. We're giving those opportunities. You guys have seen Zubak have the opportunities that that I said forever ago that Chicha is going to need if he's going to be effective. Something that we haven't been doing before. We are doing it now. And now we're just only going to add one more player, and Yoni, who's by all looks of it, is capable of doing that, and some. Right, so if you add that to the mix, plus what we are already doing, I don't see it now. If we're talking about injuries, yeah, maybe because it's a shame that we haven't seen him yet. But if we're talking about just what he can do in productivity, listen, Gio, his first year was on point.
Yep.
After
Yes,
that,
sir.
so take it how you will.
All right. Zivi wants to know, what position do we need to look into now that Leggett has Cam on lock now? Center
Ooh.
back.
It's interesting, right? It's interesting. It's interesting because if you say center back, it has to be like a center back we could trust from the jump.
Yeah.
Not somebody. Yeah, right. It has to be like, and that, like, that requires a lot of money. I think that requires a lot of money. Like, you have to invest on
Well,
somebody.
Stowers' net worth right now is like $3 million, so we could sign him for at least $3 million.
We go for Cam or
Still?
or a backup striker. Yeah, bro, put pressure on these motherfuckers. You want them to play like this? Put
But
pressure
see,
on every position.
But I think every position offensively has something behind them.
Except the striker, bro.
Yeah, except striker.
Yeah, except the
100%.
striker.
Well, but see, now you have the luxury of maybe going out and getting 2-3 players, or young players from, like, maybe South America or whatever, that don't cost a shit ton of money. Whereas, like, 4 weeks ago, we figured, like, we need to bring in some names that are going to affect immediately, right? Like, now you can bring somebody in who has promise and work them into, like, hopefully, fighting for a starting position. But it's not a super pressure that we had 4 weeks ago. I think that changed a lot, in my opinion.
You know what I'm gonna say? If we have the money, fuck that. Go get a Cam or whatever the fuck we have the money for. Go buy it. There's nothing wrong with adding capable players of being starters and just fucking beefing up this team.
Yep.
There is nothing wrong with that. If there's a Cam out there that we can get, and right now we can even take a gamble on a Cam player that maybe hasn't been as good as everyone expects him to be, or maybe he's on, I don't know, let's just say one of PSG's players, just for the sake of conversation, right? Someone that's just been riding the bench, like Pastore, who went to Roma. Right now, we can take those type of gambles.
Yep.
And it can pay off for us. Right now is the perfect time. You want to take a gamble? Right now is the time to do it.
You're in the 13th round of your fantasy football draft. That's where you take the gamble. This is where the Galaxy's at. You already have all the nice ass pieces. Go add somebody.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with adding.
America, and GB is gonna bring him back to life.
Here's my concern with that, right? Although the team seemed like they bounced back and they took one on the chin and kind of bounced back from it, I'm still not 100% convinced that they're strong mentally, right? And legit being really my concern, to be quite honest. If you bring a Cam in, does he regress because he can't handle the pressure? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, well, if you can handle the pressure, there's the bench for you. Same thing goes. It's the same thing that applies to Bingham. It's just gonna apply to Legit. So
I don't know, man.
You're in the bench.
Nah, you're completely wrong right there, bro. If you want a winning team, you cannot have any mentally weak players. Yep. So if me bringing in someone who's gonna pressure your position and you're gonna fucking collapse, then you shouldn't be fucking starting.
Thank you,
bro. But listen to what you guys are saying, though, right? You guys are saying, let's take a gamble. Because right now is the right time to gamble. If we take a gamble, it doesn't perform, and it fucks with Legit's mentality, then it's a loss.
Okay, and what happens in the situation?
But then the loss would have happened in the playoffs.
Right. Let's
Would
say
it though?
again,
Okay,
though.
listen,
Mentally?
we seen what having confidence could do for legit. We've seen what a string of a few games could do for legit, right? And that's what I'm arguing here. We've seen with you know, maybe even a little babying, maybe a little like patting in the back, and not opposite of a slaughter treatment could do for
Yeah.
legit, right?
But listen,
And you
but
can
I
ride that. How far can
but
you
I
ride that?
no, but I feel like in playoffs you have to get hit in order. That's what tests your mental fortitude. That right there, the playoffs, just because it's hard, is not an easy way up there.
Yeah.
You really have to fight.
But
This is just
but
assumption, though. We're assuming.
yeah,
Jet is
100%.
gonna-
Yeah.
This is
yeah,
our thoughts.
we're finally not talking about the Galaxy sucking.
Right.
Let us talk. Let us talk.
Yeah, listen, just
It's an
to make it
assumption.
clear,
Not
the
even
cameras was brought up. It was brought up here. To me, it's not necessarily about just the camera. It's, you know what, if we can go find a solid backup striker that is not going to be Zubac, but maybe not a DP like Chicharito, but we're still going to spend, you know, some TAM money on a backup for Chicharito, then it's worth it. Like right now, these things are worth. That's what I mean. Is if we can find a player that, hey, we don't necessarily need him right now, but fuck it. If we have the money and the luxury to spend for the spot, fucking get it. There's nothing wrong with beefing up your team.
Yeah,
Listen, things
why not?
can happen, right? And let's say something does happen to Legit, or let's say Chito gets another injury. I don't want Zubek to be my guy from here on out. So if I can have someone that's proven in the MLS or in another league for let's say conversation, right? Or you know what, Bobby Wood, just for the sake of conversation, because I know people have brought him up so many times in the chat. If we can get him on a TAM deal, and we know he's gonna be here as a backup, or it doesn't have to be a backup, maybe a rotational player, maybe he can find wing. That's what I'm saying, is find something that's gonna make sense. If we have the money to do it, and if we have the space to do it, then fucking go out and get it.
Yeah,
Yep.
you know, adding to that a little bit, like if these guys can pull off the rest of the season this way, all the equity on all these players goes up, right? So now, because when we're talking about transfers before, we're like trying to figure out how we package these guys to make them look good, right? Put lipstick on a pig type of thing. Right now, if these guys could keep consistent like throughout the rest of the season, and remember, we're talking about 18-game season, right? We're about to hit 5 games, so it's not like it's a lot of league left. If they could keep this up in the offseason or when the transfer market opens again, like offloading some of these players is going to be, I mean, maybe even hurts us to offload some players because they're going to be, you know, perform better. But there's money there to be made now, right? Whereas before, 4 weeks ago, like we couldn't see it. Man, it's a lot of pluses going on right now.
The stocks right now on these plays is high.
Yeah.
So if to make trades, it's like, oh, you want legit? Shit, what you gonna give me for legit? What you gonna give me for legit?
Mhm.
You know, before we're like, oh shit, here, take him and we'll give you somebody.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Like,
but right now, as I'm saying, right now is the perfect time to do it. Right now, you can spin it to any player, right? I'm saying any player, but if you're a player, I don't know, just for sake of conversation, if you're fucking Cristiano Ronaldo and you want to keep winning championships, you tell them, look, the team's already right now, they're high flying, 4 games in a row, they're playing well. You want to come in and win? You want to take it over the line? Come through, right? And that's just right now. You can spin this team in so many positives, and you can attract other players. Maybe a few weeks ago didn't really have the interest of coming here because we didn't look good.
I agree.
All right. Next question comes from Saul again. Is Chicharito hungry? No, I don't mean for food, which clearly he is. He's not. No, he got skinny. He got skinny.
He got
He got
skinny.
skinny.
Oh, fucking assholes.
I mean, is he hungry for a championship? Hungry enough to battle for those wins like some of the youngsters?
Bro, Chicharito's always been hungry to
Yeah.
play, to win everywhere. This question is
Listen, he just won a fucking championship with Sevilla.
He won
Without
Europa League.
playing.
Without
Without playing.
Without playing.
Well, I don't know.
man,
He played Europa League, so I don't know what you guys.
Without
think.
playing the
Yes.
final. Shut the fuck
Okay.
up.
Elaborate.
I'll go back to what
yeah,
I said, right? Like I don't understand where the sentiment comes from Chicharito with him having only played three games with us, right?
Galaxy.
A season, yeah. Again,
That's where it comes
the
from.
season feels super long, but in all reality, is 9 games in.
All right. And Lucifer wants to know, when the fuck are we gonna get rid of Zubac, and who would y'all like to see him replace with?
Listen,
Chicharito.
Chicharito's about to come.
Chicharito.
Right.
Yeah.
I just gave a theory on what we can do.
Yep.
It's not even a
And I
theory.
fucks with that though.
It sounds like that's really possible. So
Yep, I fucks with that.
yeah.
I
All
fucks
right,
with that.
we're done, boys.
That's it.
Yuppie.
Good shit.
Hey, big shout out to Mike Araujo though, who's here in the
Anything
chat.
good coming from
Julian Araujo.
We're going into
Nah,
this
that's
shit with
actually
the
Mike Araujo.
All right, boys. Good shit today. We're doing tailgate, right, for San Jose? Yes.
Yeah.
There,
We'll talk about it offline. But
Hell yeah.
we're doing tailgate for San Jose, so be on the lookout for that. So we didn't talk about it today. It's 11 p.m.
I do want
And
to drop
Hey,
hold on,
Molesto.
it's 11. It's 11 p.m. and we have 66 of you guys in here. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it.
Y'all.
Don't forget to hit the like button if you haven't subscribed yet. Subscribe. Share the pod when we put it on socials. Really, really appreciate for you guys. We got something special coming up. Hopefully we can announce it next week. Something a lot of you guys been asking for. We finally got time to work on it. Hopefully we have all the details next week so we can talk to you about it. But with that being said, it's another episode of Straight from the Stands.
quick plug though.
Oh yeah, go for it. Sorry.
So just a heads up, guys, and I was supposed to do this last week. I'm a piece of shit. I apologize, Steve and friends over at AFCHA. But my friends over at AFCHA are doing a virtual loteria to same thing, support the cause out in Central America. For the academy teams out there. I had this on good word that unfortunately not doing too great because of the whole COVID situation.
Sure.
So if you guys can, just head on over to AFCHA, look for them on Twitter and on Instagram. And support the cause. They're doing a little virtual loteria on September 26th.
Nice.
I believe the information's on there. I'll send you the packet and the whole thing, so you can do your virtual loteria salvadoreña. That's what they call it. And I guess it has, go check it out. Just go check it out.
Yep.
Support. If you can, donate whatever you can. They'll ship the little package to you, and then just join in. For the fun on September 26th, and I believe they're going to be doing everything through the La Pupusa DTLA website. But check them out. Head on over to the AFCHA sites. Email them if you want, or message us directly if you want. If you don't have their info, I can get it over to you. But same thing. Let's keep supporting these guys because they're doing great things out in Central America to support the kids out there, and to keep playing soccer and stay away from that gang life. That's if you're not familiar with Central America, it's very bad. People think that gang life here is bad. That's out there. It's just something else. So.
Yeah.
If you guys can, head on over to give them some love, support them, play a little bit of loteria while you're at it, and help out if you can, if you're able to.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Also, just because I remember right now, ACB members, check your emails. We have a meeting coming up this week. Check your emails for that Zoom invite. And yeah, let's talk about that. Anything else before we leave? Any other plugs, boys?
Drink your water, boys.
Stay hydrated.
Stay hydrated.
With that being said, it's an episode of Straight from the Stands.
Today in the wild, I was happy as fuck, dog.
With that being said, it's an episode of Straight from the Stands. I'm Rudy at I'm Smarts on Twitter, I'm Smarts on Twitch, I'm Smarts on the gram.
George, follow me on Jandefeated7, Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch.
This is Angel. Follow me at LiveItAF96 on Twitter, ADF3691, and apparently you can catch George and I also on Inside the NBA.
Peace, love, and G's up.
Peace, y'all. Good night.
Peace out, y'all.